Bring the madness.
Yes, so the people right now, pegboard nerds must have you locking at the sound. All of the gal go passing when me boy I go drop them a coming. Murderous. Me a the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some might sting. You better turn it, I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around me, I go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man signal, give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man signal, give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. It's a bad man signal, give a sign. Pull your gun finger trigger. Me a the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some might sting. You better turn it, I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around me, I go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man signal, give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man signal, give a sign. I pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. It's a bad man signal, give a sign. Pull your gun finger trigger. drop bombs here. Now let me see you go off like a bomb. Bombs.
Chilling in the chair, I'll be sipping it. Watch a bunch of shows, I'm getting it. Yeah, I understand it's a quarantine, I got to be chilling all alone, but I'm getting sick. People who be running after the office, signing politics, scrambling to tell the kid to stop. I ain't gonna leave the room, I don't wanna kill a few with that the shit that is inside my top. Look at the drop, taking it bigger than now, taking it part of the crowd. Don't wanna pop, I don't want anyone down, better be kicking them out. Look at the box, smoking loud up in my damn house. Solo though I know I'm never going on and out. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. So loud, oh, party on my own. Party on my own. I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't got a lot to prove. And if I'm moving, then I'm grooving, cause I wanna do it. Stupid, got my music and I lose it to another tune or two. If I don't get to move it. Even real can do it when I'm cooking. And you know I'm cooking bacon. You don't wanna check under the apron. Down. Vacuum the whole room naked, facing windows so people who out getting the greatness. Telling me better to hate this, really though it ain't shit when you could compare to what the other people facing. So what I am drinking, still half full is true when comparing to the nation. On my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. So loud, oh, party on my own. Party on my own. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Slow down.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NODWIN's Valorant Conquerors Championship. This is the Nepal Bhutan Qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, we have our crewmate partner as well, Gillette, just like last year. So everyone, man, welcome back. The wholesome community of Nepal, I'm here to welcome you guys. And CA as well as John alongside with me. How you doing, CA?
I'm doing great, and I'm really excited for today's matchup, Nakru, because as you said, Nepal Bhutan qualifiers right here, and we've got on one side a team that we know very well. Of course, they went through a rebrand, Damru to now Khumbu, but on the other side, a team of underdogs, and that's really been the theme of VCC 2.0. It's been the rise of the underdogs. So let's see if Maruti Peak can make a claim for that title.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the last time we saw Khumbu under the name of Damru Gaming, if I'm not wrong. So pretty much like coming in here, new name, I guess, knew them as well. Maybe we're going to be seeing some new improvements coming out from their side. We don't exactly know how things are going to be looking like. But yeah, of course, in the forward, we're probably going to be taking a look at the overview schedule as well, just for you guys to get your eyes on what exactly we are currently on. So currently, as I mentioned, we are on Nepal Bhutan Qualifiers. And after this, we're going to be having the wildcards lined up. So any of these teams over here, if they do lose out on one of this, that means they're instantly going to move up to wildcard. And this is exactly what I was saying. Currently 8th Feb, we're on Nepal Bhutan Qualifier, and after that there's going to be like 1 day break, and then on 10th Feb we're going to be on wildcard.
Exactly, and I think it's going to be a matter of making sure for both of these teams that strong note on this finals, right? Because as you said, wildcard is right around the corner. The losing team from this finals will go over to that wildcard qualifier. The final team in that wildcard qualifier trying to vie for one of two slots.
Yeah.
And I think at that point for both of these teams, if they can get a slot directly into the grand final playoffs from here, it gives them that extra bit of time to really weigh how the wildcard teams are playing, get their meta as well as their strats sorted in advance, and give them that teensy bit of advantage.
Talk about teensy bit of advantage, man. I mean, any of these teams who lose over here, it's not going to be an easy journey in the wild card. It's going to be pretty much with a lot of like a roller coaster of emotion. It's going to be full of twists and turns. So yeah, you better luck for that. But overall, tournament explanation in front of you guys as well, as 2 slots from India and 2 slots from wildcard, and then rest of the regions pretty much having 1 slot in the grand final playoffs. And then from the playoffs, 2 slots are going to be moving in forward in the APAC Challengers playoffs. So that's going to be an interesting thing. As we do know, there's a lot of things online, and one of them is those 2 slots, and which teams. Pretty much all the teams are eyeing out for those 2 slots. So it's going to be an interesting run over here. Nepal Bhutan Qualifiers definitely is one of those kind of region that has surprised me even last year, because they have some nice talent. But again, last time we saw the problem was a little bit of team synergy. If you compare them to one of those teams in India or Pakistan, pretty much any other region who have like their name pretty much on top of the VCC over here, last time we saw them lacking quite a lot of communication here and there. And talking about things online, CA, prize pool has to be one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a massive prize pool up for grabs, but usually what I always goes towards is that $1,500 MVP of the tournament possibility. And I think from today, I've specifically got my eyes on Thin, a player who really did perform brilliantly when you look at the last Nepal and Bhutan qualifier. But since then, I feel like the roster has gone a bit of a change. You've seen a couple of players changing around and coming in. Asite is a new member of the squad, so I want to really see how Thin has evolved himself. He even has an IGN change. He's now Thins, and maybe taking that Z to elevate his gameplay as well, because I think for Khumbu Gaming, it's no longer about just winning this Nepal Bhutan qualifier, very similar to what we expected from Exploit. It's about making a statement with this final.
I mean, Thins we saw, I guess today, this time we're going to be calling him Thix if he makes some insane plays happen. But yeah, overall, as you saw, yesterday was the end of India qualifiers too in VCT. I mean, Velocity Gaming pretty much from the side of India qualifiers too. They managed to book their slot in the grand final playoffs, and then as you can right after that, we see that one more slot for the Nepal Bhutan qualifiers that's still available up for grabs. And then right below that, we saw 2 slots from wildcard. So even if one of these teams does get knocked out from here, they're going to have another chance in the wildcards, and that's quite huge. So overall, as you mentioned, there has been a little bit of changes. There has been a little bit of ups and downs from both the teams, and going in forward, man, I don't know what to expect in here, because I haven't really seen them play quite a lot. Let's be honest. This is one of those regions that we don't really have our eyes on that much.
Yeah, definitely. But I think what Nepal and Bhutan most definitely established from VCC 1 itself is they're a region that can easily upset or surprise expectations, that can really rise up to the mark when required. And I think that's why I'm talking about Khumbu, they're needing to make a statement, where last time around it was a very comfortable road for them. If they're able to establish that comfortable road once again, make that statement in this finals, try and become that true dark horse in the grand final playoffs.
Oh man, talk about dark horses. There are quite a lot of dark horses in the grand final playoffs. They've already booked their slots up there. But yeah, viewer rewards in front of you guys. Exclusive merchandise, the exclusive VCC merchandise, as I would like to say. All you guys need to do to apply for this giveaway is go ahead and make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go on your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you guys like to use, and type hashtag VCC, make a post, hashtag VCC, and also remember to tag at NODWIN Gaming in that post. Listen to me carefully, at NODWIN Gaming. This is the account you really want to tag, and then you guys will be eligible for the giveaway. I mean, hey, might as well try and give it a shot, right? I mean, this is a free merchandise for you guys. Even we're not getting as casters, so you might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see a lot of that merchandise, really cool, right? Besides the mouse pad itself, I got my eye on the pop socket, like that really cool jet emoji. It's something that I personally considered buying the battle pass just for that emoji, you know. But hey, I think that's why you gotta make sure every single stream we have that giveaway. You get it done. But with no further ado, Necro, let's move on to the veto itself. Khumbu taking out the map of Breeze. We see Maruti banning out Split. Bind and Ascent are going to be our first two maps, and it's no surprise whatsoever. One of the most played maps for Khumbu. They're extremely comfortable on that map of Bind. But from the side of Maruti Peak, it's all surprises for me, Necro, because stats-wise, as you said, it's not a team that we've seen often, not even in VCC 1 or recently in other tournaments. So Maruti Peak, they come to this finals with nothing to lose and everything to gain.
But again, I mean, what I saw in the semifinals with both these teams, they pretty much 2-0 their opponents on the map. So, I mean, that's quite huge. So, Maruti Peak is over here to show something. They're over here to show their peak. But on the other hand, Khumbu, they have a lot of experience. So, I do want to see how a new team, as you mentioned, how Underdog is going to be taking down a team that's pretty much over here, that's been here, that's done it in the past. And how are they going to take down one of the biggest teams in their region and pretty much try and book their slot in the grand finals? Because I said, even after you do win here in the grand final playoffs, the competition is just going to keep on elevating.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to get easier whatsoever, which is why you got to use this opportunity to its fullest. So, with no further ado, let's look towards that Asian veto. From the side of Khumbu, expecting very much a standard composition. Asite, as you can see, one of the players I talked about, the international acquisition that Khumbu mentioned in their BCC launch party as well. He's going to be a key player, playing from Maldives. If you remember last time around, he was a part of Lectures Gaming. Now coming into Khumbu Esports, I'm sure he's got a point to prove.
Oh yeah, he indeed does have something to prove. I mean, this is quite a huge change, right, from his side. So there might be a reason why you've choose kind of like Khumbu Esports over here. Maybe he does like the lineup over here, something like that. Maybe he feels a little bit more comfortable playing. But yeah, I do want to see what they've got in the back for sure, because we've seen players like Thin in the past, and if I'm not wrong, Thin was one of those players who actually used to play Jet. So now this is a huge change in the pace, CA.
Yeah, they picked up Asite for that primary duelist role, so really all of Khumbu making a decision to take a step back, allow Asite to be at his best self, and we'll have to see really how Thin is showing up in this Sova row. I think aim-wise, he's most definitely cracked, but aim is not really something that becomes our first concern when we look at the Sova. It's more about the game sense and more about how much preparation have you done with the lineups we saw in several qualifiers. For example, I remember Kappa with some amazing lineups for things like the Killjoy lockdown. So right here, Khumbu and Thin, they've got a lot to prove. But talking about Maruti Peak, Clover, Gisalan, Jare, Pugo, and Konda, not players we've seen a lot before. Clover is one I have seen in the past, but again, he's not someone who's really got that spotlight. So we'll have to see how he's able to make his mark.
Oh man, indeed, those are something that I really do want to see. On the other hand, Maruti Peak, we talked about this team coming in. We don't really have a lot of info to rely on about Maruti Peak, but what we can say is that they 2-0'd their opponent in the semifinals. So I'm pretty sure even they have something promising to prove over here. So those are one of those teams that I'm going to be eyeing out for as well. Interesting choice coming out from these sides, and you can clearly see they haven't really bought a lot of utility, CA. 2 players going for Ghost, and the rest players utility not really preferred that much.
Yeah, even in terms of composition, the attack going to be quite difficult for Maruti Peak, considering the fact that they They've got that single duelist combo with the Sage. Good for burst, but with no flash, it's all you can rely on. So quite one-dimensional in that regard. They need to make sure that they're completely synchronized and not giving unnecessary space now. Immediately talking about that burst, right? They go for that B side, they wall off elbow, looking for the plant here. But from the side of Khumbu, you can see the plan is clear, playing on the plant denial. Thin already finds one on the shock darts, and you know what? I had two checkboxes. Game sense and line out, so he's already checked one off.
Oh man, indeed
And
he
make
has.
that two.
And there you go. Oh my god, Thin is able to follow it up with another one, so that's pretty much huge. Clover as well, trying his best to hold it on, but that's not going to be the case. Instead, he gets shut down. Slumber in the back is the man who puts him down. And now Pugo, the only man left alive in Hookah, he will be smoked off as well. Not a lot of sight line to work with indeed, and he also needs to go ahead and retrieve the spike in his hand, so another level of difficulty being added here over here. He has the rendezvous available, but again, it's not really going to be that useful in a one-on-two situation, especially in a pistol round, so I'm not really expecting any like insane clutches coming out unless if he's just able to land all the bullets with the classic, just looking around, doesn't really find the enemy and gets shut down.
I am not sure about that rendezvous right there. I think he's trying to set that up so you could take a peek and leave immediately, but it just inadvertently told them exactly where he was. They're able to spam through, and even though none of those shots land, they're making sure the crosshair is on point. They get the round. Khumbu off to a great start in this map, Necro, and Thin picking up exactly where he left off. One of the star players for the side of Khumbu Esports in the first place, but oh no. Oh no, no, no. I see Asite has disconnected. No technical breaks, please.
Oh no, there we go. Technical break on the board already. Asite is the man who has disconnected, so I don't know how long this technical breaks can last for. But yeah, people in the chat, if you guys are wondering why are we so sad about technical breaks, we've had some insane memories in the past. We've had a lot of trauma, and we do not want to go through that trauma again. So technical breaks is one of those things that pretty much traumatized me and Sia at the same time.
Come back, Asite. Come on. Please come back real quick, because if this technical break goes on for a while, we might have to dig in deep into the lore of Bind. And while I do love doing that, I do love me some Valorant even more. And I want to see the Valorant, especially since it's only been one round, Necro. There's literally nothing to talk about this map with respect to the game besides the composition. So let's take a second to talk about the composition itself. Khumbu Esports playing that single controller double initiator lineup. Now the biggest difference between this lineup and something like we say GE playing is the fact that they don't have that Viper. They're instead choosing to play on that Cypher for the dedicated flank watch as well as the extra reliability when it comes to the defensive half. And that's where, even on the attack, it's really going to come down to Slumber to make that pick work, right? Because we've seen how good Viper can be on those looks, but Viper has her pros. Like, especially we saw this in the semifinals between GE and Gopi in that final round where just that timing issue completely messed up Lightning Fast and GE's dreams as well. So that Viper does remove a bit of those cons, but he doesn't necessarily add reliability in terms of information denial that the Viper does.
Oh man, yeah. Viper pretty much is one of those controllers, so yeah, her job sometimes can be the information denial and also try to create a little bit of more comfortable space on the side for her teammates. So, do you want to see what again they've got in the back? Is we've not really seen any of the Vipers being picked up over here in the Nepal region, so that's definitely one of those interesting things that even CA pointed out and even I'm pointing out right now. But on the other hand, you can see Astra's being picked. I mean, again, it's a really good thing that Astra's over here being played, but we saw in India qualifiers and pretty much in, I think so, any of the region qualifiers, like Viper was a must pick and bind.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like I actually like the composition here in the sense that I don't think it's a must pick anymore. Yes, Viper is still, I would say, an A-tier pick, not anymore an S-tier pick, and can be exchanged for picks like the Chamber, Cypher, even the Killjoy for that matter, the Sage once in a while. And I think it does give teams a lot more room to maneuver around what is their comfort. Now, Slumber himself is someone that we've seen play on that lurking role previously on Dumru as well. So I do understand him picking up that Cypher, but as you said, it's been a top tier pick for so long that we see teams naturally defaulting to that Viper. So we'll have to see how Khumbu have prepared to make sure that they don't face the issue in the sense of the lack of the Viper in terms of that information denial, or even in terms of the attack where they need to try and burst onto side with just one duelist. The Viper makes it much easier with respect to how many angles she can cut off.
Man, Viper can definitely cut off quite a lot of angles, especially with the wall itself. She's pretty useful, and I honestly feel like on the map of Bind is like their sights are pretty huge. For example, the A side, if you take a look at it, there's so many angles that you need to cut off, and this is where double controller as well can be useful. But again, as you said, you do like this composition. I understand Astra is kind of like a thing that is really good. You can also use the concussions, you can use the smokes, gravity wells as well. There's just so many utilities that Astra can provide on the board. So I do want to see again, how are they going to be utilizing the Astra in general? Moonlight over here is able to cross over all the way close to the bathroom. Nice flash out. It's going to be getting a decent amount of information. Instantly backs out from that position. Does realize maybe there's a possible push coming through. He's going to let them flood into the bathroom. Nothing really critical just happening yet. Khumbu Esports taking their sweet little time to realize, or at least read, what Maruti Peak is trying to do here.
But already an aggressive push down B short. They've got one pick on Thin. They're going to just back up now, knowing that they can play on their numbers advantage. But the burst from the side of Maruti coming in from Showers. Levi catches them off guard, shuts them down, and Moonlight will follow up as well. That's an easy 2-0 for Khumbu Esports. But hey, that was just an eco for Maruti Peak. So their true test going to come in that next round.
Yeah, indeed. Talk about the true test. I mean, over here, they just got lined up. Unfortunately, I do understand this is kind of just like an eco round, so yeah, we might just let it slide. It's the second round on the board for Khumbu Esports. But now, in this bonus round, if they're still able to win, I don't know, man, what to expect from Maruti Peak.
Yeah, exactly. I think the bonus is going to be crucial. You can see Moonlight himself opting for that Phantom already, going for the upgrade. He's playing quite aggressively. Going to look to break the drone so he can wait for a city. The smoke comes in on time. Drone turn around. No, it won't. City's position is unknown, Necro, and this is crucial. Are they going to back up? Though they are. And the city not going to get much value, though. That was close, too close for comfort. That drone not turning around for a second. I thought that might be a disaster. Look at this, City on the push.
Oh, he's already found himself quite a deep angle. There you go. Catches a man off guard. Using that Spectre perfectly in the close range. That's when it's in the prime positioning over here now. Slumber trying to gather as much as info as possible. I don't exactly know what Clover was doing in that space, but still, at least his teammates able to trade it out. And now it's pretty much trades happening back and forth, and Khumbu Esports still having a man advantage to work with. And this is quite huge. That's all they need. Moonlight on 49 HP. Just gonna hold some passive angles. He's gonna let them give their space. He's gonna give them their space. But the two players are, it seems like they're being pretty indecisive at this point. They don't exactly know where to go. They're just trying to move around here and there.
30 seconds left.
Finally, Chamber. Pugo is the man who's trying to move around. I like Pugo's crosshair placement. It's pretty good. But still, Moonlight being spotted. Moonlight needs to play this position as safe as possible. 49 HP in the hand, but still, the flash out also gives a lot of information away. On the other hand, the Astro's down quite low as well. So Pugo is the man
10 seconds left.
who has to clutch this out. 10 seconds left in the clock. The spike gets down.
Spike planted.
There we go. Spike planted. Now it's a 2-on-2 situation. I like how they're going for the heal as well. Thin is the man who's pretty much a star player over here for Khumbu Esports.
That shock dart actually doesn't kill the Astra, so they might be in a false sense of security.
There we go.
But
Not
what
anymore.
a random shot from Moonlight. Silence is silence, just like that. Pugo is left. They'll find 2 key frags, but the trade is there for Levi. Khumbu Esports with the bonus round win here. They won't care about dropping 4 weapons because Levi should easily be able to pick up the Phantom from Moonlight, and they should be able to continue on into their full buy the next round. Whereas on the other hand, Maruti Peak, it's all disaster, and it feels like timing such a big factor, even in that push from a city, right? Like if that Sova peaks a second later, then the Chamber Trap reveals a city, and maybe it goes differently, but timing playing such a big factor. Asite not only able to shut him down, but also get rid of the trap. Always kept that fear alive in Maruti Peak's heads.
Talk about fear, man. Already 3 rounds on the board, and this in itself has to be fear. And then add on a little bit more fear is that they also won the bonus round. So that means imagine the economy, CA. It's just flowing out their pockets right now. They have a ton of money. And now they're probably looking to convert it into a victory on this first map. 3 rounds on the board, back-to-back. Khumbu Esports, they seem like they're on pretty much a killing spree. They're dominating this whole thing. And I do understand Aside, he has been given kind of like the comfort role of playing the duelist, but still, I want to see fit on Jet, man, because we saw him make some insane plays in the past, and I want to see that. I want to see some glimpses of that again, because this man's capable of quite a lot of things. We just saw that in the pistol round as well.
He's already showing it in on his Sova as well. Levi, he's gonna find one Slumber, even though he's isolated.
One
Pick up
enemy
one
remaining.
before he dies, and the trade is there to make sure it's an advantage for Khumbu. With just the eco from Maruti Peak, but you're starting to see glimpses of the issue with their composition with regards to the fact that they're playing that no-flash single duelist composition. So if they try to burst, there's so much utility on Khumbu's have that prevents them from being able to easily get the site. And if they don't try to burst, well, what can they do?
30
Talk about
seconds
burst,
left.
man. This is the problem for Maruti Peak. They're just not able to utilize the smokes on the Astra. They're not able to get the proper executions on the board.
Team Ace.
And Konda as well is not able to do anything on the board just yet. So Khumbu Esports, they're just punishing them over and over again. And somewhere down the line now, Maruti Peak will have to start utilizing the strategies, man. If they don't, they're just going to get absolutely rolled on.
Team Ace.
And even that one kill that Maruti Peak got doesn't really help them as much, because you can see the economy of Khumbu Esports is blossoming. In every way, they've got big eco build up, a lot of credits. Only Slumber with not so much, but he's not gonna care.
You want to
His
play?
job as the
Let's
anchor
play.
is just to continuously shut down the push, and he is doing that again and again. Now, Tour de Force has been fought for Khumbu. This is something we've seen in the past being quite influential.
Oh my God, no.
Getting caught, but came immediately with the Hunter suit. He will make up for one and find a second.
Oh
as well.
my
He
God.
really is the Hunter.
Yeah, he is the hunter right there, man. Look at this shock dart, dude, dealing a little bit of cheap chip damage onto Silent. Nice lineups coming through from his side. But the Tour de Force staff from Fugo. And now the recon dart as well, scanning the man out. Thin himself is just making some insane plays happen.
Last player standing.
He's not thin anymore. He is the thick man in the squad. And talk about Fugo is able to connect that crucial shot. That's all he needed. Rendezvous out as well to give him a little bit of safe teleport outside some tricky spots, and that's what exactly happens. Fugo doesn't know exactly if he's getting flanked by someone or not, but still trying to be a little extra cautious with what he's doing. It's a 1-on-3 situation, and talk about the execution. Maruti Peak, no matter what they're trying, it's just not working. But again, what they're trying is just not enough.
He's got 3 bullets, and he's got 3 opponents.
30 seconds left.
One in each person's head, and he might just be able to clutch this out, but it's easier said than done. Look at the setups. They're continuously trying to play on the contact. Moonlight's guiding light gives him the information that he's coming in from a short. The Jiggles will make sure he gets at least 1 down, but time is running out. He needs to move in, and as soon as he tries, Slumber puts him to sleep, and Khumbu Esports are running with it. We talked about them making a statement. We talked about them coming in to prove that not only are they the best team in Nepal as continued from last year, they're also a team that needs to be taken seriously going into the grand final playoffs. And if this is the way they're going to continue to dominate, well, I can't help but wonder if teams don't take them seriously, what they're going to do to those teams.
Man, I mean, over here, man, I mean, I do understand there's a lot of things to be talked about, but this is pretty simple here, CM. Maruti Peak, they're just not able to execute the sites. Like, I haven't seen a proper execution even once yet. Like, they're just not able to do what they need to do. It's like, they just don't know what to do in this situation. They're completely lost.
Utility in that goal. Like, you see the gravity well and the nature of combo. Even if they try to burst A shot, they get shut down. If they try to burst B, the Cypher is there with deep traps that prevent them from taking the entire site. But the aim is still there. Find one on the headhunter, but Maruti just continuously being shut down. Perfect utilization of that trap fire with the wall bang. Slumber gets one, and oh boy, I think we might be in for a quick day if we keep going like this.
One enemy
Talk
remaining.
about that. Oh my God, Levi. What's going on? They're just getting stacked up on the site. The site looks like a graveyard now. It's not anymore a deserty site. And there we go. Levi is able to stop it finally. And Khumbu Esports, another round on the board. 6-0 is the scoreline, and it seems like a complete steamroll from the side of Khumbu Esports. They are looking unstoppable. And look at the smiles as well on the face of Slumber. We saw this man last time, and he was playing the same role as Cypher.
Just perfectly done. Knows exactly where to expect it. This is what I was talking about, right? The deep traps from the side of Khumbu, it really enables them to play heavy retake in the sense that they can once again play on that post-plant denial, sorry, the plant denial that we saw in the first round where Thin has his lineups, which is why the Cypher and the Sova playing the same side. Usually that's a problem because when you're playing single initiator, you don't want your primary info agents on the same side, but since Moonlight is functioning as this pseudo-duelist, almost as Battle Sky, they get a lot of information from that end now. Okay, Thin, maybe a bit of passive curse there with the arrow, but that's okay. He still got the ult orb and he's able to get on out of there. I'm still curious about the arrow though. Like, where was that supposed to go, Thin?
I think so. It was more kind of like just like F it, dude.
Yeah, flex, you know, you're like, yeah, I don't even need to get recon on you. I'm just gonna smack you anyways.
Yeah, it's like I'll try to get a recon kill, dude. Imagine.
Oh,
But
you know
yeah.
what would be cool though? If you
What?
managed to land the recon on one of their bodies. Just happened to do it a couple of times and it always
Yeah, it has to happen to me
pisses
as
me
well.
off, but oh, okay.
It's like I'm trying to tell my teammates, please shoot it off, and no one's shooting it. It's like, damn it, dude, just shoot it.
I mean, teammates not used to shooting at your teammates, you know? So when it gets stuck on your body, they're just confused and their brain break, but talking about just that, Clover, you don't want to sit in that cubby, like, just completely exposed. He's trying to stay safe, but he can't. And again, even though they find the first pick, they get caught out. Panda with the first.
Oh my God,
Should
he was bad.
be traded.
There we go.
30 seconds
Win
left.
from Slumber, but recovers on time, allows Asite to come in.
Oh my gosh.
But again, time is on the side of Khumbu Esports. The Cosmic Divide is about to run out. The Seekers coming in, giving Khumbu all the information in the world, and it doesn't seem like Maruti Peak have any options because now they're trying to go for the plan, but they're isolated.
Oh, they're isolated. 2 men in sight
One
and get
enemy remaining.
well, scratch that. No one's left anymore. With the flash out, Jora's position given away.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, both the
Heal
players.
before they-
Yeah, there we go. Both of them pretty much lined up, but it doesn't matter. That's a beautiful double peak coming out. And Khumbu Esports, we're seeing a lot of beautiful team communication. We're seeing some glimpses of like actual good team from their side. So I love to see it. They actually are double peaking some angles. They're not really going for some risky plays, but if you talk about room for improvement, there's room for improvements for both these teams. But on Maruti Peak, they need to tweak themselves a little bit too much.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, Maruti Peak need to try and find some semblance of momentum from this first half because, yes, understandably, their comp is much better on the defense when the Chamber gets to play heavily around his utility, much more passively, or even aggressively if he wants to, but with the idea that he's always going to step back and the Sage gets to wall one area off entirely. But on the attack, I just want to see them press W. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work because right now, it doesn't seem like their defaults are working whatsoever. But talking about their defaults, look at Moonlight. He's just starting to feel like this is a stroll in a part right now. Push to summons already, relying on Asite to hold down U-Haul. Does give Maruti Peak some room, but Levi shuts down all
You
both
will
the trees.
not
Now the
kill
revive
my
is ready.
allies.
The wall set up for the plant as well as
Oh
the
my.
revive. But the
Spike
single
planted.
head spotted off Pugo and the headhunter becomes hunted himself.
Yep, just quite an unfortunate moment. Shock darts to follow it up, and now another one goes right on the side. Beautiful one to get through. Moonlight's the man. Finds that. Won't be able to find the second one as well. No, actually, scratch that. You best believe he cannot.
Last player
Another one to
standing.
follow it through. Khumbu Esports finally seems like they're crumbling down, and there you go. This is what I wanted to see from Maruti Peak. Finally, some hopes and dreams being shown from their side, and they're here to prove something. But let's find out. Again, they're just able to get one round, and after that, I'm pretty sure Khumbu Esports, they're going to be quite jealous. So they're not going to let them slip by another round.
Important round though, in general, for both of these teams does end up meaning that now that semblance of hope, at least that semblance of hope is there for Maruti Peak. And given the fact that they do in general expect to be much stronger on defense, I'd say even if they're able to get an E4, that would not be so bad. But with just 4 rounds left, they gotta get 3 out of those 4 rounds. So I love the fact that they're being a lot more aggressive. You can see this 4-man stack with the Astra holding that spike just left in the back now. Oh, look at that! Asite on the flank. He's got a smoke to cover up the trap. He can walk past the trap now. He's not going to get revealed.
Oh my god, and there you go. Finn
Spike
is the man
down,
alive on the
B.
long side. He still connects another shot. But unfortunately, the observer as well flicked away somewhere, so we were not able to see that. Fugo finds the frag onto his city. And now it's a 2-on-3 situation. The Soul also has the Hunter's Fury available, and the Astra has a Cosmic Divide available, so this is quite huge. Overall, Khumbu Esports has a lot of advantage to work off of with, but take a look at the flank from the back, CA. That's what's going to matter quite a lot. I do understand the Chambers over here, but the flank from the back is what's going to be catching these players off guard. The entry on the site's found. Rondo as well is going to be on the board to make sure for some like safe teleports out.
They don't have the spike though, and Tin is holding down that B-long angle
30
with the
seconds
operator. The drone as well invested just to make sure that he doesn't over-peak, and now having spotted both of them out.
Last player
Go
standing.
for the peak, the Hunter's Fury, unnecessary, and I feel like getting him stuck right there.
It was
now
panic.
leave Moonlight in a 1v2 now. They can't really take the TP, they don't have the time, so they're gonna have to play this perfectly because the single frag
Nice.
will come online.
Enemy
This is good. This is absolutely brilliant from his side. Seeker's out as well to try to distract him from his actual goal, which is his body, but he still falls down. Makonda with a nice 4K is able to save the day for his team, and another round on the board for Maruti Peak, and there we go. Some glimmers of actual hope from the side of Maruti Peak, and now I'm hoping that maybe they've finally got a little grip on how Khumbu Esports think.
Yeah, and Tin with highs and lows in this round started this off with some beautiful shots, but the Hunter's Fury I'm not so sure about. And then again, the Seekers invested here. I wish he just waited for the Seekers to actually hit Conda, running away with the momentum. Conda with a huge 4K to secure a round that I feel like should never have gone to Maruti Peak. Now, they're going to go once again for a similar strategy. It worked for them before. The only difference in the default now being they're expecting the aggression from the side of Khumbu Esports down A shot, so they left that chamber back, but it's not happening. Khumbu Esports showing the discipline. They realize they've been flanking one too many times. They don't go for it again, but Clover, what is that, man?
Oh my god.
What is that?
Yeah, moving on. Not really focusing on that fact anymore. 7 rounds on the board and 2 rounds on the side of Khumbu. Finally, maybe they're going to be able to get some momentum rolling on their side.
Spike down B.
And there you go, City with that huge 2K. Now is only left with 2 players to work on for Maruti Peak, and don't exactly know what's going to be the game plan right now. There's 2 players to work with against 4. This is quite tough. Thin still not being spotted. Try to clear out the left side, but not deep enough. Cypher's cage out. Fugo still has an aggressive angle being held. 19 HP CA. 1 more bullet onto him and he will be taken out. Same thing goes to Slumber. Both the players are down quite low. Slumber as well playing that to perfection. Not really going for those aggressive peaks, but yeah, overall now, this is where the panic sets in. Maruti Peak don't exactly know what to do with this situation.
10
The only
seconds
option they have
left.
is to try and plan for this B side, but you can see Tin already ready with an off angle for the same. What? They're gonna save? What? Okay. I don't
Interesting.
think. Yeah, I don't think. I'm not sure why they go for the save right there. I understand that Pugo is quite low and has the operator, so for the operator they go for the save, but they need every round they can get on the board, so they gotta make the save count, Necro. 2 more rounds left in this first half. I would say they need to get both, but at minimum, at the very least, they need to get to a 9-3 score mark. Maybe rely on that 9-3 curse to pull it back.
Oh my god. Again, here we go. I mean, the 9-3 curse hasn't been working throughout the VCC. It did work, I think, so once only. But again, the chances are pretty slim, man. You cannot rely on the 9-3 curse anymore. But yeah, jokes aside, I don't know how things are going to be looking like, because now the momentum being stopped again, and Khumbu Esports, they're able to get a grip on how they're thinking now. The Maruti Peak overall, they're going to be having a lot of panic set in this round, because this round's going to be a crucial one, as I mentioned. And the Satchel's able to get a kill as well. What's going on? How are these kills just flowing through like that?
Enemy remaining.
Showstopper comes out, and even you have the Trailblazer to try and catch the final man alive. It's Fugo who gets spotted with the Recon Dart, and also the Trailblazer. Taking things quite slow. Nice guiding light coming through from his side. Oh my god, there we go. The flank being caught, Slumber being taken out. That's the Cypher right there. the detective not really in the game anymore, and now you have... He also has the Headhunter available, so you might as well try and go for some one-taps, you know, because it's pretty much a done game for him. And if he gives this round away, it's going to be like 9-2, so another round of the board, that means it'll be 10 rounds for Khumbu, and that's quite a dominating lead already. So.
Especially considering the fact that they went for the save, so it's not like they're able to build up on the eco. Their eco is broken now. Khumbu does manage to dodge the recon in time, but hey, info is info. He dodged the recon and he wasn't detected, but he had to run forward to dodge the recon, and the audio info that Khumbu received was more than enough. Now, look at this replay. What we don't get to see is at the start of the round, Asite fired a couple of random shots that got Conda really, really low. So Asite setting himself up for success, times that satchel perfectly with those shots coming in through at the start of the round. The satchel finishes off the job, and then while dying, he has the fadeaway nade to get himself a 3K, literally obliterating his opposition to make this an easy 10-2 most likely for Khumbu Eco. As we expected, the eco is broken, and Khumbu pedal on the metal this push.
Oh, pedal on the metal this time, indeed.
Spike down.
And they're done. They're fed up of playing passive now. They're fed up of playing complacent, and now it's time to be a little proactive. Being really aggressive outside hookah. Able to find a couple of frags, and now 2 players already down on the attacking side. And on the other hand, they've only got 1 casualty in return, so that's quite huge. 4 players on the board, as I mentioned. And Khumbu Esports looking really dominant, as always. And looking to set their domination through, even on the map of Bind, so I do want to see. But there you go, Fuga with that nice frag on Asite. That's the big man taken out, and now the man on the site will have to fall back. He's giving them their own comfort space, but again, he has the Cosmic Divide available for the retake.
Yeah, exactly. They also have the neural theft, so as long as they play together, get a trade, keep that Cypher alive in the slumber, they get a lot of information on the basis of that. Now, talking about information, the recon being set up right here will make sure that the Cosmic Divide tells them exactly where they are now, so they can play around it. Didn't manage to get one, but the trade is huge here because now Clover can hold on to U-Hauls. Cypher online, they're trying to set up for the defuse, but Khumbu managed to shut them down. Slumber. Levi trying to hold on.
Oh my god.
The timing just doesn't work out, and Clover, the Battle Sage, had a couple of awkward moments throughout the first half, but showed up when his team needed him the most to pull off this round. And right here is, I feel like, where is a bit of an error made from the side of Khumbu. As soon as they dropped that spike carrier, I would have actually liked to see them keep Wing. I feel like there's no need to give up the aggression, especially considering the fact that they knew the economy of Maruti was broken. As long as they keep pushing and take control of that spike entirely, I feel like the round does end up going in their favor anyways.
Yeah, no, they should have also committed a lot of utilities at that space right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That was kind of like an interesting call being made for, yeah, and the 9-3 curse now activated. But again, is it truly activated though? That's what I want to find out. Fugo, on the other hand, is trying his best to keep his team alive in the game and is giving it all he's got. But the rest of his players need to follow it up as well.
I have them.
Now on the defending side, Maruti are going to have a lot of trouble to deal with for sure, because Khumbu is one of those teams that's going to be able to open the floodgates pretty flawlessly.
Now look, this is where we talked about the strength of Maruti Peak's composition on that defensive side. An aggressive wall from Clover. I really like this wall because it allows him to play on these new boxes to try and find a peak if they do go for it. But it was a very early wall, which means, as you can see, within those 30 seconds, it's already started to disappear away. And without that wall, they don't necessarily have as much utility to hold on because they don't have that raise. Using the Trailblazer, Khumbu clear out U-Haul and now pushing on to Sai for the plant. But do they know that there's 3 stack here?
There is a 3 stack, but again, if you're going to give solo peaks like that, it's not going to matter no matter how many players you stack on the site. So you're not supposed to give 3 picks like that. 7 HP on the man of the site, and now another man is Conda. 70 HP left over here, trying to spam through the cages, doesn't really find anything. His Slumber is going to be taking him down. Then you have a City as well to follow it up, and now Thin is not going to back out from this killing spree. He wants to get his name on the board, and he will. Lugo for the final man left alive, and a beautiful distraction with the bird. But it's going to be Levi who pops him like a popcorn.
Yeah, and with that pistol, like, It's a little bit of hope that Maruti Peak had is starting to slip away. We know how crucial the pistol can be. Anything besides an 8-4, like anything above an 8-4, the pistol effectively decides if you have a chance of comeback or not. Because without that pistol, you get put into this impossible situation. Because as you can see, they have to go for the eco now, which will effectively make it 11-3 and make their buy round the deciding round. And for Khumbu, they don't even need to win the buy round. All they need to do is break the economy and they effectively win the map. So you can see once again aggression from the side of Maruti Peak, but the shock darts are perfect. They do so much damage to Seven.
Oh my god, no.
Finn is cutting them out. He'll find the 3K. The flawless make sure they go for a pure bonus, and that has to be all she wrote for Bind.
If I'm not wrong, it's 11 rounds on the board already, so pretty much count him out at this point.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, that's a
Shock
flawless
darts.
round too. But now again, I feel like another thing that's really tough to sneak out is like sneaking out a bonus round in the attacking side. So I do want to see how they're going to be able to do that. But again, why I said that is because, yeah, again, that's in case, yeah. But still, I mean, over here, I'm expecting Maruti to have a little bit of advantage because moving in forward, Spectres in the hands of attackers, they will need to go for some real up close and personal engagements. But again, only that can happen if Maruti are able to let them isolate those. If that's not the case, then Maruti should be able to pretty much, you know, come out on top in these fights.
At the same time, though, for Khumbu, I think even if they lose the round, as long as they make it come down to 1 or 2 man at the end, take away several weapons from Maruti Peak, they will be in a comfortable position because they've invested little to nothing. Only the utility as well as maybe some shields investment coming into this round. Even the shields, they mostly saved that from last round. So in every way, Khumbu's economy is blossoming. But having said that, it's taken quite a bit of damage. So as you said, they're going to have to make sure they don't end up giving unnecessary peaks. They get caught out by Pugo. He's going to have to rendezvous on out, but I don't think they're expecting still a double stack and hook up.
Talk about the double stack. I see that beautiful shutdown on that utility. Now they're not going to get slowed anymore. No, also they don't need to care about that. Oh, he spots out the rendezvous and instantly takes care of it. That's a nice trade. And that's quite worth it as well. That's going to give them an AR in the hands of which is probably going to be the Phantom. And there we go. Another one on the board to follow it up. 21 HP in the hands of Asita. That's going to be more than enough to take care of an enemy. Oh my god, for Konda's position. Yeah, beautiful spot from your side, CA. Konda pretty much just staying hidden on that spot. Oh, misses a lot of shots, Slumber. Do not like to see that. But that's pretty much the Spectre nerf hitting him differently.
Yeah, and you can see Khumbu genuinely perplexed with the setups of Maruti Peak right there, where Konda effectively decided to let his teammates die, let the push come in from long just to deny the plant, and at the end of it all, it was a smart decision. Because of which he's able to not just shut down Asite, but also shut down the planter in thin, and just like that secure the round with minimal damage done. Because the first 2 weapons taken away, that was starting to look disastrous. If they're able to even take one more away, they would have made sure that they could not go for the full buys. But now instead, Maruti Peak have full buys with one player playing the judge, which on Vine I consider a full buy.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, how did he just... He's so lucky. Levi needs to be thanked right there by Asire. He's so lucky to be alive at this point. And that was the judge as well. You do not want to be caught by that judge. Moving on forward now. Khumbu Esports having a man advantage this early off in the game. That's the big info giver out too. It's the Sova, not really in the game anymore. Rendezvous at that position. Finn doesn't exactly know what happened there, so just gonna try to flush him out.
Setup, Necro, quite interesting. It's from one side to another. I wish he'd stayed there. It would have helped him, because now look at the rotate. He had to have expected that, especially after he rendezvoused. They would expect a short rendezvous and instead go on over to the A side to try and punish it. So it would have worked out perfectly if he just stayed in U-Haul and helped Clover out. But instead now, Clover might get isolated. He does find that one frag.
Our spike.
And now the backup has arrived. It should be a
Spike down A. 30 seconds left.
It should be, but still. There you go. You're not supposed to give peaks like that. And then just Astro saying useless individual. Man, yeah. Not gonna lie, these lines are sometimes funny.
Rendezvous again. They know exactly where this rendezvous is because they've seen him go away from it last time. They're
There
gonna
you
try
go.
to get him caught out. Oh
Beautiful.
no, Pugo, not like that. Gives away the man advantage, and now in a 2v2, Asite in prime position to help Levi secure this round.
Yeah, it's a 2-on-2 situation. There you go. The Cosmic Divide's available as well. And it'll cut off the defender's line of sight. So this is where another troubles will start knocking their doors. Asite trying to spam through this smoke. Doesn't exactly know where Konda dashed on, but there you go. Another round of the below board and smiles on the faces of Maruti.
Yeah, and I feel like Levi should not be peeking right there. Needs to wait for Asite's contact to peek on, because Asite is the one whose position is... As soon as Asite goes for the satchel, his position is revealed and they're going to try to attack him inherently. But because Levi peeks out, they get an opening for Maruti Peak. They're able to shut him down and then go for Asite. So if Levi actually just managed to stick to that same position from which Konda was able to secure the round, Asite would most likely get a 1-for-1, and then Levi could play on the fact that they had no idea where he is. But instead, they lose the round, they lose their economy, and they give hope to Maruti Peak, because 11-5 on the board now. This composition thriving on their defensive half. They are pushing back, they're vying for that comeback.
Fire in the hole!
Oh no, Showstopper's out, and look at the aggressive entry on the A short. They're already able to make the presence on the side, but still we're not really being seeing those utilities used to perfection from the side of Maruti, so they're not really able to stop the floodgates just yet. There we go, and that's the big man Chamber out too. He had the rendezvous available and was not really able to pop it because got taken down quite early. That's an unfortunate situation. After this round win, they should have 12 rounds on the board. That means it's going to be a match point for Khumbu Gaming. Asite, nice opening on the site. Hunter's Fury out too. Clover's down quite low. He should be taken care of, and yes, he is. Third one also wasted to pretty much try and make sure that there's no one really flanking from the back. Jure finds one. Try to follow it up with another one, but does not really connect the spray. 33 HP in the hands of G Silent. Classics out, able to find one, but not really much on the board.
And that Thrifty just wiping out all of the hopes and dreams that Maruti Peak had. They still should have the ego to be able to get at least 3 players the full buys, I believe, if my math is correct. But they will be all of the momentum they had, all of the vibe they had that we could pull this off. It should just all disappear now. As you can see, Pugo with the Tour de Force is going to play on that, give the buy over to Clover, but the rest of them not able to afford anything. Konda does have the Blade Storm though, and the power of that Jet and Chamber helping them effectively get a full buy in this round with one Spectre, but that's all it is. They are changing up their setups. Konda trying to get real aggressive with that Blade Storm.
Oh no, is he sleeping?
Oh no, that was Thin.
Did Thin fall asleep?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, Thin.
Okay, well, it seems like CA is just falling asleep, man. He's getting pretty bored. He's like, this is too easy. He's like, this is too easy for me.
No, it's because, you know, when the Jet pulls out her dagger, she's like, watch this. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to shoot. I'm just going to watch this.
Makes a lot of sense, man. Yeah, he was just watching. He was having a great time. He also probably pulled out some popcorns.
Yeah.
We're talking about
my
popcorn.
head while I eat some popcorn.
Oh, there we go. There we go. They're just lining up for Konda, and he does not expect one. How are you not checking that angle, dude? I do understand you've got 3 kills back to back, but you're still supposed to look at the place where they have been stacked. Does not really look there, so he gets shut down. But still, Asite on 70 HP has a paint shell available. It also has the spike in hand, so you probably will go for the plant soon. And look at how they're set up as well. They're expecting a flank coming through from their side, so keep this in mind. The Hunter's Fury is available. If Asite does go for a plant, he will have to go for an off plant. There we go. Gets spotted by Clover, and Clover's able to shut it down, but still barely on the edge. Maruti is still alive on the map of Bind.
Yeah, and Konda really stepping up. Again, as much as fun we can make about like him sleeping off there, like it's something that should never happen. Talking about sleeping off, again, they're not expecting that flank from the Shovers, especially when you have that Cypher in the composition. I feel like the flank is not something you can afford to be taken down from, but hey, the Thrifty is what they got the match point on, so maybe a Thrifty is what they can close it off on, because now their eco is broken buys in every way. Asite's got that hero Vandal. Let's see if he can truly be the hero to secure the match.
Oh man, I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but still the Hunter's Fury is out and he's able to find one. That's a big man thing taken down. Bugo able to follow it up, and Asite, the hero Vandal, gets shut down instantly. Moonlight in the close range with the Guardian. Not going to be able to do much, only finds one, but now we're left with 2 men alive on the side of Khumbu Esports and 4 on the other side. So Khumbu now having a lot of men to deal with. Levi also has a lot of pressure on himself, so Levi is going to be making his safe way out of that situation. Does not really want to go for it instantly. Champions Vandal in Konda's hand and looking to make it glow. Is that going to be the case or not? Let's find out. Because the 2 players are in short and Clover's ready to line him up, and he also has the resurrection available. I like that he's holding on to it, but he needs to be reminded that they have 12 rounds in the hand. And you might as well try and go for it, but still. Another round of the board for them, and they're still alive.
A fine death.
Still alive, still fighting. And still persevering to try and somehow pull this map back, but with a 5-round cushion Khumbu have, they pull off their first tactical timeout, and they're just going to be discussing, guys. They've got the full buy. We've got some key ultimates. Let's focus. Let's get this map done with and move on to the next, because we've got out to an astounding start. I feel like more than closing off this map, what's crucial about these next few rounds is making sure that the momentum stays on their side, right? Because if you let the team of Maruti Peak make this a 13-10, even 13-11, or even come back all the way through, the momentum shift that they're going to feel is going to be absolutely nuts. And yes, we always say pro players are not necessarily affected by those emotions, but we know for all of these players, it's an upcoming region. These are young upcoming players. Surely the morale factor is a big boost, or a big demotivating factor for both of these teams. So you got to make sure that your team's morale is up high and on that cloud 9 to then help you throughout this best of 5 series, because otherwise it's going to be a long one. It's going to come down to simply Mento, to which team wins.
Yeah, no, true. That's a good point from you. As you mentioned, the competition hasn't really evolved that much, and to be you yourself who's made it out this far, this is quite huge, and they're probably going to be having some shaky nerves at the start. So I like that Maruti are able to shake it away, and now they're able to show themselves on the board. Clover's taking an aggressive peek. Man's got some nerves of steals for sure. Has the resurrection available in the hand. But again, I feel like over here, Clover should be the man who should be playing in the backside, because trying to utilize that resurrection at the perfect time. But again, Clover's going for those aggressive peaks, which is quite interesting. Instantly gives it away, because he does realize there's another push coming in from the short side. He's holding the angle with the operator. But on the other hand, Khumbu Esports as well, they're doing a really good job lining these body up. Levi able to follow it up with 2 frags. And there we go. One less man alive. Now it's a 1-on-3 situation. And it seems like CA, we might as well just call it on the map of bind.
Yeah, the tactical timeout playing fruit for Khumbu Esports. Very coordinated on that aggressive split A push. They covered all of the angles together. Make sure that even though a couple of members went down early, both of the initiators being taken down, they have the trades. And what I especially liked in the A-shot push was how aggressive Moonlight was being, right? Not scared about giving up his life. Making sure that he created that space, and really crucial for his team, because now they pick up the map, they pick up the win, and get to move on to Ascent to try and establish themselves as that dominant factor in Nepal.
Yeah.
I will say though, Maruti Peak, they give a huge fight, but they've got to make sure if their composition is lacking in the attack, they have to compensate for it with their defaults. I feel like they could have played a little faster or slower in the sense that they never committed to one particular style. What I would have wanted to see personally is just maybe 4 or 5 aggressive bursts in their attack in the first few rounds, and then instead of bursting after that, they could start playing on defaults to play mind games with their opponents. But it always felt like they were questioning themselves, maybe double-minded, and that 5 to 6 round win streak that Khumbu got going in the first half, that did end up being the difference in terms of scoreline.
Man, I mean, overall, they just had a really dominating start, and I feel like somewhere down the line, Maruti, they just let a lot of rounds slip by in the first half, and that should not be the case. 9 rounds slipped by from your hand. 9-3 was the scoreline, and then later on, they also lost the pistol round. That was kind of like a little bit of more added salt on top of that. So the pistol round was the most crucial one, and as soon as they lost that, I knew that the lifeline of them in the map of bind as well started fading away with that. But overall, moving on the scoreboard, we have a city, of course, with 22 frags on the board, pretty much top frag in the entire charts over here from Khumbu Esports. And then you have from the other side, you have Maruti Peak coming out. It's Konda. We saw that nice 3K coming out with the Blade Storm.
Yeah, Konda did have a really good performance throughout the map. I think it's not like any of the players from Maruti Peak really fell apart. It really did feel like what Khumbu had extra in them was a bit more preparation with respect to what their IGL was calling and what they were doing in those executes. So that was what was missing from Maruti Peak. I think they need to make sure that going into the next map, which I believe is the map of their choice, they can cover that up with how they want to approach a map. You rarely want to see a team playing on terms of the opposition. You want to see a team dictating the terms of their gameplay, especially on the attacking half. You want to be the proactive one. You want to be the one forcing the defense to change their defaults and react to your game style rather than vice versa.
Oh man, take a look at the damage stats as well. Of course, it's going to be Khumbu Esports just leading the charts with 14.57k damage on the board, and then you have Maruti with 21.2% of headshot. That's quite huge. I mean, they pretty much are leading the charts in headshot, but then later on, it's just Khumbu Esports all over again, just dominating through and getting their win on the first map of Bind. But now moving on forward, as you mentioned, the map of Ascent is going to be an interesting one to find out how things are going to be looking like on that. But this is the MVP comparison between Asite and Konda.
Yeah, the Asite, that key addition we talked with Khumbu in the launch party. They talked about how they're getting an international player on, and coming in from Maldives was Asite. Even on quite a high ping, you can see the impact he's able to make, and consistent impact. It's not like he has insane highs, but every round he's able to either create space for his team or cause a lot of damage on the basis of his utility. So key addition to Khumbu Esports, I would say, and going a long way to help them secure not just their spot in the grand final playoffs, but maybe even more in the actual grand final playoffs.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, they've definitely gone one step closer to get their slot pretty much booked over there. First map has already been taken care of. 2 more steps, CA, 2 more steps, and that means they might just be able to get their slot again in the grand final playoffs. But we never know. Maybe Maruti Peak will just bounce back insanely in the map of Ascent. Maybe they're just able to pull off some insane shenanigans. Maybe just some wild card pulled out from their side, just some X factor, and we're just like completely over here with just our jaw dropped, and we're like, what just happened? Like, we did not expect this from Maruti Peak, you know? At this point, anything can happen. As I mentioned, we don't really have a lot of info on these teams to rely on. And if we did, then maybe we would have made a little bit of more, like, statement saying that, okay, if this just keeps going, then maybe, you know, Maruti Peak are not going to be able to bounce back. But again, I do want to see what's going to be happening in the map of Ascent. What do you think so, man?
I really want to see that fight back. I want to see Maruti Peak really put themselves on the map. Even if, like, at the end of the day, we expect Khumbu to be the favorite. So even if Maruti Peak is not winning this entire series, we have to remember they have that wildcard slot. So for them, this is more about getting the experience and getting the exposure. And the best way to do that is make us remember them in our hearts.
Yeah, indeed, man. Just try and put on a stellar performance, and I'm pretty sure Sia and me, I mean, it's not really that hard to win our hearts, man. Just try and dominate the competition. Try and put on some star players. Just try and put on some insane flashy plays. But with that being said, that's going to be the first map of Bind out the way. Pretty much Khumbu Esports just steamrolling it through on the first map. But moving on forward in the Ascent map, I do want to find out what's going to be the outcome. And I'm pretty sure all of you do want to find it out as well. But right after this short break.
So high in life, without you, I don't feel alive. So I'll just keep on being higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high, without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. I know that you're feeling forsaken, mistaken, wish you were another man. I remember feeling awakened, mistaken if you thought I'm in that place where you want me to be, but I don't want to want you back. So it's easy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NODWIN's Valorant Conquerors Championship. Now, the first map out the way, the Nepal Bhutan Qualifiers seems like they do have a dominating champion over here from their sides, and they might just be able to secure their slot moving forward in the Grand Finals playoff. But again, they still have to go through 2 more tests, and the upcoming test is going to be on the map of Ascent.
Yeah, Necro, and this map is crucial for both of these teams. Khumbu Esports themselves, over 7 maps, have over an 85% plus. I think it's 87 or 86 or something like that percentage win rate. And then you look at the side of Maruti Peak, and yes, it's limited data. We only know of 2 maps for them, but it's 100% win rate. They never lost on Ascent in those 2 maps. So winning this map is going to give a lot of momentum to both of these teams in really putting that on the table.
I mean, hey, look, there's first time for everything, right? They haven't even faced Khumbu Esports in the past, so hey, look, this might just be your first time where you'll be taken out in the map of Ascent, and the 100% win streak might just be broken down to 75% because, again, every single lose does count quite a lot.
66, because they play 2, and if they lose 1, it becomes 2-1, and then it's 66.
Currently it's 100, so yeah, I guess, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm
Maths.
really bad at maths, okay? So listen, okay? I will give you the edge over here. I'm not even going to try to question you. I'm not even going to try to go in depth of these equations. But yeah, moving on forward in the character select, or the agent select, is right in front of you guys on the map of Ascent. And we're seeing KO being pulled out. Okay, interesting.
Now, from the side of Khumbu, this is not the first time they're playing it, but it is the first time they're playing it with that Killjoy. Usually, they play it with the Cypher on Slumber, so when they play that Killjoy, it's usually an indication that they're going to play the Sova Sky, but instead Thin opting for that KO. Now I wonder if Moonlight is going to end up picking that Sova, or they go for that KO Sky. On the other hand, you can see from the side of Maruti Peak as well, a change in compositions. They've usually played that Sova Sky on Ascent, but now they're opting for the Reyna instead. Konda on that Reyna, that's going to be a sight to witness, especially with Clover on that Jet, because it did feel like Sage, on the Sage, he didn't really get to express himself fully. He was quite aggressive, but never really got to have some utility with which he can afford to be aggressive. Now on the Jet, that effective extra life he has with that Tailwind, I'm sure he'll get to blossom a lot.
Hopefully he does. I mean, I do want to see the comfort level being added as well. They were finally being seeing that pulled out. So yeah, the Jet coming out from the side of Ascent is going to be quite interesting, and I do want to see how he's going to be able to put it on the board. But again, I want to see at least one map where Thin plays the Jet. I want to see him go back to the old days, man, because hey, who doesn't love the old days? The old days are the best days.
Hey, the KO comes quite close though, I will say, to being that secondary duelist, so I'll take it for now.
Okay. But I mean, look, man. I mean, look, so yeah, I do understand the KO comes pretty close. You can use the pop flashes and go for pretty much the quick frags, but you also need to realize how much pressure a KO player has on himself. There's so many people relying on your utilities to pretty much shut down the Astra and the Soa as well.
Yeah, but I think Asite is going to go a long way to relieving that pressure, because Raze is not necessarily his primary pick. He does play it very, very well, but his Jet is what he made a name for himself on. Now, quite aggressive here. The recon actually fails, but that's okay. They know exactly where Hugo's Killjoy is. Asite goes forward, shuts him down. He's going to be like, all right, guys, you go back to site. I'm going to hold the rotation.
There we go. The people from the back that they're trying to flood in the site from the market. Good tack coming through on the Sova. They're pretty much being suffocated at this point. Thin is able to trade it out, and now it's a 2-on-3 situation. And he instantly gets shut down as well. So Konda now on that Reyna coming in. This is going to be an interesting factor for sure. 5 HP in the hands of Moonlight. Feel like he should not be on the aggressive page at this point in time. Moonlight spots out the man fading away, and he will be able to successfully fade away. But he doesn't know that Konda is pretty much rotating again back on the B side. But no, that's not the case. Konda now is the only man left alive, with Jure being shut down. Having a lot of pressure. Asita slowly and steadily moving it forward, but this is Konda who's going to land his shot this time, and it's 4K for Konda.
Just absolute chaos in this first round. Teams going all over the place. I kind of want to listen to what happened with respect to comms, because right here I feel like what Khumbu can do is just take a step back, be like, okay, fair enough, we tagged you. As soon as they spot them running towards mid, Thin even got a kill from defender side spawn. There's no need to peek, but instead They give a free kill to Jaure. Konda is able to freely rotate, establish himself up in that mid area, and suddenly the round that started off in a brilliant manner for Khumbu, Maruti Peak pull it back, and it's that Reina for Konda, a player that was playing at his peak in the map of Bind as well, continuing on the same form, maybe even more, because with that Reina, he really does get to play completely for that factor, play completely selfish and try to get his team that entry. But now, talking about entry, Clover's got himself and his team onto that B side. It's a free take for them, and on the eco, the retake is going to be insanely difficult for Khumbu Esports.
It is going to be difficult, but there you go. Talk about that. You're not supposed to give picks like that. If you're going to doing stuff like that, then for sure it's not going to be as difficult as expected. Another one falling through, and then it's just the entire lats of Maruti just lining them up on the site. They're just stacking those bodies. A little bit of a little bit of BM coming through. Okay,
I like that. I love that. Banner is a very important part of the game, as well as esports in general. And I love the fact that these teams are going at each other. Hugo himself getting his vengeance. He's like, you guys can press W and shut me down. Well, let me show you what happens when you don't have the weaponry or the advantage in terms of numbers on me, eh? And finds that 4K himself.
they're going to enjoy that teabagging.
Yeah, but talking about enjoying, right now they get to enjoy the fruits of winning almost a flawless round because of the simple fact that they get to play on a pure bonus now. Recon doesn't reveal Asite's position. He's using their own smoke against them. Able to get into a sneaky position, but barely misses out on Clover. With the 0 point as well, not really revealing Clover's position. He's got a really important location in this push. He needs to make sure he doesn't go down too early.
I'm pretty sure it's been expected by the players in the tree. So you can clearly do see Levi as well, but no. They have no clue just yet that he's already sneaked in all the way on the left side to Clover. He's going to be having a really good positioning over here.
And I like the
one
fact
man tries to step out.
I like the fact that they've left Clover, but they've also left Konda. They have no real form of entry because they're going for the full rotate. And you can see Khumbu, they're not perturbed at all. They're just holding their positions. They're going to pick them off like flies. And just like that, that rotate, quite questionable for me from Maruti Peak. I like, again, that they left Clover, but why Konda as well? And if they're going to leave Konda, why Clover? Both of the duelists remaining in the A side to lurk. Who's going to grant them entry?
30 seconds left.
Yeah, now I feel like Reina should be the one lurking over here because Jet is just really good at opening the sights. She's able to dash in the smoke. She's able to create a lot of space. Recon not really spotting anyone out just yet, and this is where Thing gets caught off guard. Does not really expect him to just pop out like that. Final man left alive, and it's G silent.
10 seconds
Trying to
left.
just silence the teams in the front. And now Astra pretty much shutting down that Jet. It's a 1-on-3 situation. Moonlight peeks out again. He's not scared of silent.
Yeah, he's certainly not scared, but still a couple weapons taken off the board. So given the way that round seemed to be going, I think Maruti Peak will be like, okay, I think we made the best of what we can do. Khumbu getting themselves on the board, and this is crucial for one simple reason. Talking about Asite himself, right? It's the operator that he made himself a name on. He is phenomenal with landing those shots. Even on that slightly higher ping, he makes sure he gets these insane flicks on. So if they're able to secure this buy round now, Khumbu, it gives them a huge momentum swing, not just with respect to getting the scoreline equalized, but more importantly, getting that operator in Asite's hands now. Going to the aggressive peak once again. I think his push a lot to do with the audio cues, but since they were walking through catwalk, he didn't really get much. So we're gonna back up. He heard the call from his team that, hey, they're going for the lockdown push into A side. We need the backup to try and hold it down, and they're doing exactly that. And doing so brilliantly, the Nano Swarm from Slumber shutting down Fugo, the lockdown. Got them only half the site, and it feels like Maruti, they're falling apart.
Spike planted.
Oh yeah, they indeed are falling apart. 2 frags on the board right there. 3 men alive on the side of Khumbu Esports. Again, the man advantage clearly favoring Maruti Peak, but still this is not impossible. 0 point coming through. We're trying to shut down anyone on the site for a while, but there's nothing to follow it up.
0-point spots are both of the duelists, so they now know that these are the players most likely playing sides where the other play A main. They gotta push fast and try to isolate the duelists so that then they can play on the diffuse post plant. Tin's done exactly that. Clover will go down as well. One player needs to defuse while the other fights, but instead they both get caught one by one.
Oh no.
Ay, 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 ay.
Oh my god, Maruti Peak, okay. Well, they're given a really tough fight on the map of Ascent, and I did not expect such a start for Khumbu Esports. Interesting, man. They're just like not even able to do anything over here. There's perfect executions coming out on the map of Ascent from the side of Maruti Peak and Khumbu. They're just sitting there and watching. They're not even able to stop anything.
I think what Khumbu really need to do is what they did in that last round. I really like with the way they committed to playing on the plant denial. You can see again the nanoswarm set up to deny that plant works really well, but they give a peek too many when that push comes through. Once you've denied that plant, you need to play with the numbers advantage on the retake. Now again, Slumber, I thought he got caught out, but still wins the duel with Phantom versus Frenzy. So he's now got to wait for his team to come and back him up, especially with that null command ready on that KO.
Oh my god, how? Oh my god, Thin pretty much connects the final bullet onto that man, last second. And now 1 minute 6 seconds left in the clock as well. Attackers do have a lot of time indeed, but Maruti again, it really does come down to that if they're able to convert the time into a round win or not. Another one to follow it up, and I don't exactly know what just happened right there. Khumbu Esports, they're just not able to do anything at this point in time. Able to retrieve a Phantom in the hand, 48 HP in the hands, and he connects the headshot. Fugo falls down.
Wow, that round was real quick, Necro. I want to
that
see
was
Tin's
roller
kill.
coaster.
So after this, Slumber gets stuck here. And look at that, Tin's actually spamming with the Sheriff through A Heaven into A Hell and saves Slumber's life. That's humongous because Slumber then is able to buy so much time for his team. Beautifully coordinated by Khumbu. Moonlight finishes it off with his best sold arm impression right there. Jumping in from Heaven with his shorty. Finds one, picks up the Phantom, and finishes it off in style. What was an eco for Khumbu, now granting this operator for a city. Does miss the first shot, so not so great, but will make sure that mid control is in their hands. And now the split from Maruti is something that I want to see them rely on with respect to their duelist getting space and then leaving one duelist, not both of the duelists, in those advanced positions. Very well done here, but Moonlight with an aggressive peek, he actually gives that away. Clover will find a double, and oh boy.
Oh my god.
On the Jet instead of the Sage, yeah?
No, I mean, look at that though. I mean, Asire with the operator over here in the backside. Both the men with the ultimates pretty much shut down. And they also do have the lockdown available. They can try and play on the lockdown over here. Killjoy. Slumber's going to be having an instrumental position in this area. Missing quite a lot of shots. Finally connects that crucial one as well. The Cosmic Device available, as I mentioned. So it goes down. But the lockdown is also available from the side of Khumbu Esports. And I honestly feel like they should use it right now. This is the right moment to use it. But Conda on the B main, I'm pretty sure he's gonna deal a lot of damage on both these players. So Slumber, you better expect this off angle coming through from Conda. He doesn't exactly know as well if there's anyone flanking him from the B main. That's why being a little paranoia. But there you go. It's a 2-on-3 situation. Concussion coming out from the Astra. Leva's able to follow it up. And now it's all down to the final man alive. Conda, what's going on? Khumbu Esports. Oh, how did they just make that retake happen like that without even utilizing the lockdown?
I don't think there's any need for Conda to be worried about a B main flank right there, because the player who died in mid for the side of Maruti Peak should have told them that, hey, right here, Pugo should have told them that, hey, I saw both of the players in mid-market. That's where they're going to come from. Conda needed to make sure that he was buying time there. Instead, he plays on a very defensive angle. Lets a 3v2 be converted into a 2v2, which Khumbu Esports exploit to the maximum potential. They finish the players off in sight real quick, and then together able to shut down Conda. Poor mismanagement of positions in that post plant will lose a round that Maruti Peak should have easily won. Instead, now they're eco in a very bad spot. Maruti Peak gonna try to push forward. Granted, that was an eco round for them. Could have got them a lot of money, but instead They're gonna be once again on the fringes of a bye, trying to hold on for dear life now. Ooh, I wish Thin had actually gone for the flash. He would have found out that there's not many players there and would have gained a lot of info for his team. Told them that, hey, they're likely moving towards mid, guys. We need to back up and play for the site itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at this. Both these teams playing really passive right now. Mid control pretty much being prioritized. Nice shot from Aside. That's a big shutdown as well. That's the Jet right there. Taken out. That means now the site control, or at least the site presence now, being spotted out. And Aside trying to be really proactive in this position. Moonlight's able to follow it up. Another duelist. And now Maruti Peak is crippled big time.
Yeah, really nice updraft from
30
Aside,
seconds
dude.
left.
Not only does he get information, but he effectively becomes a bait for Moonlight. Pushing into that mid area, Maruti Peak not expecting someone to be there since Asite just updrafted. They're like, surely he's alone. But no, instead Moonlight shuts them down, and time running out. Maruti Peak, they just have to go for the savior. There's no point
10
pushing.
seconds left.
10 seconds left in the clock. 3-on-5 situation. 3-3 is the scoreline, and it seems like they're probably going for a save here, CA. They have a nice crossfire set up. It's like the trifecta of death in the mid. They just went for the save, and he had a Fury out as well from the side of Moonlight. What was that?
Quite questionable. You can be like, you can see him seeming quite jittery. Maybe it was a misclick. There's no reason to use the Hunter's Fury there. I think they knew time was running out. The round was in the bag for them. So even if there was a reason to use the Hunter's Fury, it would have been on a plant. Not just randomly. So a key ultimate down. It does give Pugo now the opportunity to try and get an ult off for himself and play on the lockdown. Because without the Hunter's Fury, there's no way for Maruti Khumbu Esports to trade. But instead, look at this. They're playing on that contact turret. Moonlight is in that position unknown, but they still check that angle. They shut him down. Asinte misses the key shot, and Gonda able to create a lot of space. But
Oh my god.
would they
Oh
get to save?
no!
What a shot!
Oh my god.
And recovered all of the mishaps that he's
I need blocking vision.
Yeah, just able to stack those bodies in the B main right there.
You should run.
Yeah, and the funny part was he only had like 2 or 3 bullets in the final kill as well, and he connects that headshot. That's quite huge. Slumber pretty much on a tear right now. Was on a rampage. The lockdown's available. Attackers pretty much utilizing the lockdown to flush out the defenders from the site. But oh no, they're trying to fade away in the site, but this time they get caught out in the cat. And now Silent is the man over here. Trying to be really sneaky and silent. The 0 point comes through. Is the KO going to be expecting him? Yes, he does. But Silent is really quick with the angle. It's going to shut him down.
They should
30
expect him to
seconds
go
left.
for the rotator, and you can see because of that, Levi is going to set himself on this A side. I don't think... Oh, Silent did not hear Levi drop, so he's just going to go for the plant. He's going to get caught off guard by Levi's position. His back turned around. Levi will pop one in his head and ensure that the round goes forward for Khumbu. It's such a timing-based thing. A millisecond later, I think, if he's closer to the door, he actually hears Levi drop and could maybe go for the fight before he plants, but he doesn't because he's a little too far away, and instead, just like that, Khumbu able to pick up the round, but it's all down to Slumber here. The first 2 shots quite clean, but this third, man, the crosshair connection just slightly to the left and taps it once and gets it on point. Slumber just putting them to sleep one by one, and that, again, shouldn't have been a round that went to Khumbu Esports because Moonlight got caught. Asite missed his first shot, so it felt like Maruti Peak could have got that entry in, especially with Gonda looking to pop off with that overheal, but instead, Slumber really turning up when his team needed him the most. What is that recon? Oh, I like that. I like that light knob. One bounce without revealing himself gets a really nice mid line.
Okay, well there we go. A little bit of, I guess, Caster Curse. Another fragment to follow it up, and Finn finds that kill. And now it's a 4-on-4 situation. Nothing really critical happening just yet in this round. No commands available in the hands of Finn, but he's not just going for it yet.
I wonder.
He's letting them have their own time.
I wonder if they can just go for the hard push into mid and then go for mid to B split, since they've lost B main control, but instead expecting Thin to be aggressive, he gets caught off by the timing of the smoke turning off, and now leaving Moonlight isolated. Recon doesn't reveal his position. They're gonna know.
Oh my god.
So they're making sure the one position where the Recon is revealed, they shock hard, and Clover with the dash in and a quick scope to shut down Levi. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was indeed phenomenal. And now Moonlight on the site. He's just trying to hold off an entire flood, but he's not going to be able to do it successfully. One last man alive is Slumber. But the man in the close, Konda, is cross his train, and he will shut him down.
Shuts them down, secures the win. And this is what we want in Necro. A closer matchup, effectively ensuring that neither of these teams seem to have that mentality where they might get pushed down or give up. Both of these teams are at each other's necks, and those are the kind of matchups we really, really like. But still, the economy situation for Khumbu looking slightly better than that for Maruti Peak, especially since Clover's got his hands on the operator now. It is a free operator, I believe, with that coming in from a city. So we'll have to see if this actually ends up hurting them, because Clover has been instrumental to creating space for his team's entry. But then, with the operator, it does slow down the entry to a large extent. Slumber using that standard B defense side font turret. Like, that's one of the most basic turrets we see, and the contact off of that still catching them off guard. But Thin getting a little too aggressive, Necro leaning into his past duelist tendencies a bit too much, maybe? There's no need to push that much.
Well, I mean, hey, it's just like me, man. It doesn't matter what you're playing, just WK all the time. Let's go, W gang. But moving on forward, now it's a 4-on-4. Cosmic Divide's available, and also a lockdown.
Ooh.
Some crucial equipments to try and stop a flood on the site, or at least to try and help you in a retake. So Khumbu, they're looking really confident in this round for sure. As I mentioned, lockdown and Cosmic Divide available, and also Blade Storm to put on a show. These three utilities, these three ultimates, can be some key ultimates. And Levi, even though he's laughing, he's still crosshairs just trained. I want to see now how they're going to be performing. Cosmic Divide coming through.
Leaves a lot of
Fishy
space
one
for
as
Levi.
well. Yep, Levi's able to sneak past, and he's now going to be able to catch one. He's looking to follow it up with the second one, but it doesn't matter. Moonlight's available on the site, and he will keep him busy.
That Cosmic Divide is such a band-aid Cosmic Divide where you're like, okay, we don't have... I'm assuming he did not have stars to set up the smoke, so like, let's just create some cover. But leaving that much space on tree, even though they set up the shock darts, like Levi is just able to dodge around it, and it's just a single shock dart. Even if it hit him, he's not going to care. His job is just to delay, play for that time factor and shut them down. No, now making it 6-3. The Cosmic Divide as well gone there. Out of those key ultimates to try and play a round off of, out of the guns in terms of the economy, and Khumbu are starting to take a commanding lead in this matchup now. Again, I want to see from the side of Thin, not too much aggression, especially since he has the null command. The 0 point spotted out multiple players, and it's given them the call that A, they're going for the heavy A aggression, playing with that turret over at B main, but I think he's a little too far away. He needs to go back towards mid to deactivate that turret.
And look at the smokes as well, man. They do want to flood inside the site, but still they just don't have the info to rely off of. So as well as not able to gather anything on the site here.
Taking that back.
So still Khumbu Esports having a huge advantage in their hands of being anonymous with their position, being unknown off their positions. And still they can keep this anonymous factor rolling in. But again, the problem for, I feel like, Khumbu Esports is that they just don't really have a lot of man number to work on A side. Finally, we do see the Jet closing in as well. A nice gravity well to try and stop the push from the side of Astra and the Sova. But there you go, the Sova's able to follow it up, and now the Jet being really aggressive in the close range. Cosmic Divide's available. They also have a lockdown. I don't know why they're holding on to it for so long. 2 fracks on the board from the side of attacking, and now Maruti, they're able to make something happen. But I just don't understand. Just use that lockdown, please.
Yeah, they're still not using it. I think Slumber is worried about someone coming in on the flank, but he's giving up a lot of time.
You need to use it. Yeah, you need to use it.
What is...
This is like so questionable. Bro, you have a key utility, just use it. You have a lockdown. Instead, they're just going for some aim duels. Well, it seems like it's working out, so you might as well try and go for it.
Okay.
But just consider a scenario where the teams in front of you are really good, some of the best teams in the grand final playoffs. This play cannot work out. You cannot just rely on your aim single-handedly to try and clear the site. Because as I
Last
mentioned, in
round
grand
in
final
the half.
playoffs, the competition is just going to keep on elevating. So you have to go for all the odds with you.
The only call I can imagine is that, hey, it's their eco, we can win duels just because of the gun advantage. And it's still, for me, a questionable call. Maybe that combined with the fact that they've been told, hey, the health bars are also really low, just go for the push, man, don't wait for the lockdown. But again, I feel like it's something they can commit. Let's see, maybe it does end up paying off for them, because now in this final round, full buy versus full buy, they've got the lockdown as well as the null command to rely on. Tin's got to make sure he stays alive. He's not used that null command a single time this round because he dies too early to be able to use it. And if he wants to be that aggressive, maybe use that null command and
Nice
then
fragment.
get real aggressive like right now. But instead, again, he's not using it. The lack of this ultimate usage is honestly baffling.
Yeah, no, they're just taking all the risks in the world, and this is kind of making me paranoid as well. This is kind of making me anxious, and there we go. Come on, there you go. Finally, the lockdown's on the board, and this is what I wanted to see. Cosmic divides out as well. The null commands now is finally available. There you go. The null commands was available, but the problem is the man just got shut down quickly.
One enemy
And now a lot of pressure. And Khumbu Esports now, they'll just need to be the moppers and try and clean it out. Nice flick by Fugo, and he just shuts them both down. What was that? Look at them. They're just vibing to the music right now.
Again, key errors, Necro. Moonlight was, as soon as that swarm grenade got popped, he was looking for maybe the second swarm grenade to shut down Pugo Peaks at the exact same time. And you can see even Levi's focus is to try and shut down the swarm grenade. Nobody's looking at A main. Only one player got detained, which was Conda. So you have to expect the last player to have gone to Winery and therefore be in A main. One of the players needed to cover that spot, and it's these silly mistakes costing them a crucial round, as now Maruti Peak with this 7-5 lead. They themselves doing brilliantly in that post plant. Like, I really like the decision from Maruti Peak to play on that crossfire on door, fully expecting Khumbu to try and push and get an early push. They get the trade advantage and they try and push to shut down the lockdown. Yes, it doesn't work out, but I appreciate the instantaneous decision making to play aggressively rather than defensively, to have a multiple stack on that A main area.
Oh my god.
And you can see now the 7-5 pistol most likely going their way. It looks like the comeback is
One enemy
definitely on.
remaining. Flawless.
What was that round? That was the quickest round in the history. The turret was the one to kick things off in that previous round, and now, within a blink of an eye, a flawless round from the side of Maruti Peak, and somewhere down line now, the finger should be raised on Khumbu. What exactly is going wrong? I mean, you guys were able to steamroll it through on the first map, and now coming inside the second map, it seems like things are falling apart slowly and steadily.
Yeah, things are certainly looking like they might fall apart, but what's especially important for Khumbu right now is maybe take a tactical timeout after this round before the bye to make sure that they can get their heads on straight and get the focus back on, because the smooth sailing that we saw in Bind, where even the rounds they were losing, they seem quite synchronized, it doesn't exist anymore. But Clover, no. Getting a little too aggressive here. This is the first shot.
Oh my
but
god.
we'll catch up Moonlight real quick. And hey, maybe he's not getting a little too aggressive. Instead,
Yeah,
the
that's
right.
a nice second shot. Clover falls back with the frag. He's going to be happy with that frag that he just got, so he doesn't really need to commit too much.
Still in sight.
Conda over here on the short is going to be utilizing the leader to fall back. Buys him enough amount of time and going to be able to successfully fall back. Still a round advantage in the hands of Khumbu Esports, but again, if this goes away, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of problems knocking their door, CA.
Look at this. The setup from the side of Khumbu Esports, a heavy A stack might just work out in their favor because... Sorry, from the side of Maruti Peak might just work out in their favor because all of Khumbu Esports
30
is
seconds
heading on
left.
towards here. The 0 point doesn't spot out Conda. He's going to go for
Spike
the aggressive
down
peek
A.
and most likely catch out Asite while Levi is getting shut
One
down.
enemy
And it's
remaining.
all going smooth for Maruti Peak. Flawless on the cards. Back-to-back flawless rounds on the cards. They get to play on a pure bonus coming in next. And Clover will most likely get his hands on an operator in the round after this. considering how aggressive this player likes to play, I'm excited to see him on the operator.
Yeah, this is a really nice shot on the moonlight, man.
One enemy remaining.
Pretty much his entire life, the flashbacks of his life. I don't even know. Everything just flashed in front of him. Yeah. Expected this coming through.
I would have liked to see him go for the bonus because they got a flawless round, right? So, especially a 7-7, they can afford a bonus. But hey, Clover likes to get matters done ASAP. He wants that operator. He's not gonna get a peek just yet because Khumbu, you can see a B main drone default while they take mid control by walking in will mean that there's very little information to be had for the side of Maruti Peak. They counter with a drone of their own, but they have no idea they're actually pushing into mid market. Doesn't matter though.
God.
G silent, so sneaky. Will shut down one and most likely find another because look at how low is it.
Blocking vision.
I don't think so. He knows where Asede is as well, so that's quite huge. Asede quite low, misses a lot of shots. Asede, that's not likely. But luckily he's able to shut him down, and that's all they really needed. Khumbu Esports now, this is where they start stacking up the bodies on top of each other. 2 players alive on the side of Maruti Peak. Still, the pressure you talk about, it's not really gone away. Maruti Peak, after this round loss, they're going to feel it for sure.
They have to
Asede
know
is down low.
because there's only so many positions he can be in since the 0 point didn't reveal anyone on site. He's either A heaven or A main. And you can see that they're watching the right side of A main, so fair enough. I think they have an idea, but Pugo could have caught them out if he waited for Jao.
There we go. Did connect some insane shots in the first half, but in the second half, somewhere down line, not really connecting those shots, but it's fine. Another round of the board for Khumbu Esports. Nothing really much to worry about. There's not really a huge lead, but now this is where they might just start and try and play off of the momentum that they've found. Did they retrieve the operator in the hand? No, is going to be the answer. Oh.
Yeah, the operator was not retrieved because I think, of course, I don't think Khumbu need it, honestly. Asite, you can see he's looking to be very aggressive, create the space. Maybe once they get the economy flowing, they can buy one of their own. But what's important for them more likely here is make sure Clover doesn't get his hands on that operator as a freebie. But again, giving a free peek over in A main, Tin gets shut down. Where he played brilliantly on that Sova, it feels like this KO is enabling his duelist tendencies a bit too much. He's getting caught out again and again and again.
Indeed he is, man, and look at that. I mean, just one loud run. Oh, that's a quick shot. And G solid now is going to stay solid throughout the game. Nice one to follow it through, and now it's a 3-on situation. Cosmic Divide's available from the side of attackers, so it can be used in a real good manner. What do you think about the pink crosser, man? I'm not really a big fan of that. But there's a man posted up in close range. Target's out, trying to flush out the man in close, but there we go. Nice flick from Jare, but it doesn't matter. As long as the follow-up's there, that's all that's going to matter. Conda has a lot of utility available to Leers, and also can try and go for the heals if he's taken down quite low. The champion Vandal's glowing, and now he's looking to glow some skulls with his Vandal. 2-on-1 situation. Pressure is going to be felt. You can clearly do see the paranoia setting in as well on Conda. Going to be closing the door from Market. Does not want any other flow-through points on his side. Spam through the boxes, trying to clear out some basic spots, and now he knows there's no one behind the boxes. There's only sights left is the back sight. Left side as well cleared out, and now clearly know what exactly is going on. Recon Dart's quite crucial, revealing his position a lot of times, and now the bomb's ticking away as well. He needs to start peeking out, but he doesn't really have any time left. Good flicks from Conda, but unfortunately he runs out of time.
Yeah, and a little scary from Khumbu Esports side. I don't think they needed to double peek that. Hearing the spike, right, at that moment is when you don't trade your teammates' life. You're just like, okay, you can die. I'm just gonna play for the time, but they believe they can shut him down, so they go for the peak, and luck flavors them slightly because I think it was just a matter of about 40 to 50 milliseconds. If that fight happened like about a second earlier, Conda could easily have got the defuse, but it doesn't. So hey, it all works out for Khumbu Esports, and now the eco broken for Maruti Peak. The operator is looking like a distant dream, and so is the win right now.
Oh, that's a lot of
the
info.
duelist revealed as
Yeah,
well.
that's huge. Both the duelists pretty much revealed that now they're going to be expecting some aggression. And you can clearly see they're ready for that aggression. They're being really proactive. But talking about flavors, I heard flavors from your mouth. I forgot to ask you about your favorite ice cream flavor.
Ice cream flavor?
Yeah, what's your favorite ice cream flavor, dude?
You want to find it?
Dark chocolate mostly, but I do love me a caramel once in a while. But talking about flavor right now, the flavor of this round seems to be an aggressive beat.
It's a salty
right
one.
here for Khumbu Esports, but do they know? Yes, they do. Silent
they
is here.
do.
They check the right angles, and yeah, they're salty.
Yeah, you best believe they do. Now being shut down. I don't know, man. I'm not really a chocolate kind of guy when it comes to ice cream.
Butterscotch?
Yeah, butterscotch, vanilla.
Figured.
I like pretty much everything else, but oh, look at the flank for the back of spin. Who lines up 3 for himself? Bakonda is there to shut down the aggression, but it's not going to matter. Aside pretty much just followed through with the momentum that Thin gave him in his hands. And oh my god. But after that round win, that also should be boosting up Thin's confidence quite a lot. And Khumbu Esports, they're able to finally get a little bit of momentum going in the game, and that's all they really needed. But after that, again, everyone in the chat, please let us know what's your guys' favorite ice cream flavors, because I feel like ice cream is one of those things that everyone loves. Yeah,
Not everyone. I actually know quite a few people who hate ice cream.
they're weird.
No, I kind of get their logic. You know, they just never loved it. A couple of them are lactose intolerant, so fair enough. But hey, let's get back to the match, because it's getting quite close. That was the eco of Maruti Peak, and this round is going to be, once again, we've seen this story even on Bind, like, where coming to that 10-7, 11-7 mark is where Khumbu really start to step up the pressure with the experience they have from VCC1. Nothing, trying to set up the flash points so that Asite can go for the peak, but if you notice the spike, this is all a fake, and at some point, Maruti Peak have to start reading into this, because this has been happening, what, like 2-3 rounds in a row? They take A main control, and the only way they actually aggress A main is through mid. They never actually aggress in that early stage of the round, Khumbu Esports. So I feel like what Maruti Peak should instead be doing is trying to trade control on another side of the map. Okay, what is this? Shotdown lineup for Market, I think?
You should run.
Oh my god.
Was that for CT?
I think so. It was. I think so. It was Market Doors. I think it was Market Doors to try and flush out anyone from that spot. But still, a good entry on the site with the lockdown. Now it's going to be flushing the players out, or at least the defenders out the site, and this gives Khumbu Esports a free site in their hands. A casual stroll of the summer's day in the site, but now the summer's day is going to be turning into a bloody day soon, as the 0 point comes through. Yeah, it's going to be a complete nightmare for sure. But Levi's position is going to be proving a nightmare. But a nice peek coming through, and now it looks like Maruti Esports are looking really unstoppable. Hunter's Fury out for both these sides, and now he's looking to stop the momentum or the aggression from the defenders. Backside Moonlight's available. It's going to get a couple of attacks through on the Killjoy, but nothing really critical happening just yet. Time's running by, and the attackers are doing a perfect job in trying to make sure that they're just wasting a lot of time in these moments.
Last player standing.
That's why that retake so difficult. They wouldn't even care that they lost their weapons. But right here, when Konda got that kill onto Levi, it could have been disaster, because in that moment when you've got so many players on site, if you remember the last time we were in the first half when Konda was in that B main position and Khumbu retake, because it was a 3v2, Konda should have been aggressive. But in an effective like 5v5 situation, that B main player should never be aggressive. His job is to come on the late wrap and play on the post plant. So for a second I thought Levi might have just spilled water over the efforts of Khumbu, but instead they do hold on for dear life. Time comes into play, makes Maruti desperate just the way they are right now and shuts them down. 2 kills already gone. This eco not working out at all.
Shoot him in the
Enemy
end.
remaining.
Jaure showing himself. It's surely match point and more for the side of Khumbu because of flawless. Just finding no momentum on their defense, and for me, Necro, it all comes back to that bonus round. I don't think they should have gone for the operator that early. Instead, like, I would have liked to see some aggression, but it would have been so nice if they could have broken the economy of Khumbu instead of going for an operator for themselves.
Yeah, things would have definitely looked really nice. But again, 12-7 is the scoreline, so yeah, it's pretty much a match point. And Khumbu Esports, the vision's looking really clear for them. But on the other hand, Maruti Peak, their journey to at least book a slot in the grand final playoffs is getting cut down pretty short. So Maruti Peak, if they do still want to have a chance in winning that, they still have another map to prove themselves. And if they're not able to do so, then you might as well just give it over to the Khumbu. But nice follows ups. 2 frags, pretty much equal trades on both the sides, and now we're left with a 3-on-3 situation. Talk about the utilities available, though. I still feel like both the teams have equal advantage in that situation.
Now look, that drone spots out the turret is quite deep. I think if they know that the turret is quite deep, Thin should try pushing in aggressively and station himself right next to the boxes, but not in the viewpoint of the turret, like creating a false sense of security for the defenders. But with the Killjoy being suppressed, this is the perfect opportune moment for them to just go for a full rotate. But instead, they're waiting on Slumber. They have the time, to be fair, on the clock. So looking for Slumber to pull off a look. Knife him! No, I wanted to see the knife.
I want to see a little bit of trigger discipline, but it's fine. At least he's able to get away with 2, and that's all going to matter. People missing a lot of shots. Jara is the final man left alive. Has a recon, Hunter's Fury, a lot of utility. Plenty of utilities to try and rely on. Nice plant coming through, but the planter will be tagged, but it's fine. Recon Dart's going to be out soon as well to try and get the sights onto him. Interesting. I don't know what kind of Recon Dart was that.
That's what I mean.
Okay. And now look at this. 2 men alive. 1 guy's right in heaven, and good spam from Moonlight. A little glimpse is going to be enough. 1-time tag, and that's going to be it. They pretty much pop him like a... How? Drop it like it's what? CA?
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's...
But yeah, another round of another map on the board for Khumbu Esports, and they're looking really dominant and good overall. 2 maps back-to-back, a dominating lead. And it seems like, as I mentioned, the champions are truly being forged from the side of Nepal region, and they're looking to secure their spot in the grand finals of the VCC. But still, again, as I mentioned, they will have another test to go through, the final map and the final lifeline for Maruti to make anything happen.
Yeah, and at this point, Maruti Peak, I think what they're really lacking is that experience. So I'm glad they've at least reached the finals. We have to give them props for that and hope that they get to take a learning experience from this, because we see glimpses of potential in every single round, right, where they're making some amazing plays. They have that little bit of synchronization as well. But what they really seem to lack is that extra bit of adaptability that only comes from playing against better and better teams. So right here, Maruti Peak lacking that. Again, like when you see the way the second half went, it was 7-5 to start it off, 7-7 with the pistol and the anti-eco win. And when you've got back-to-back flawless in those rounds, I'm not sure about the operator. Clover having a map that he would very much like to forget, bottom fragging when he was able to get the Jet of his choice. It's not like I'm saying the Jet needs to tough frag, but it became more of the mark that it never seemed like he found his groove or his confidence, and that's going to affect the entire team because they're expecting the aggressive player to really turn up.
Yeah, now CA, I mean, this map now being taken care of. Ascent pretty much won by Khumbu Esports. The upcoming pick is going to be of Khumbu Esports, so I don't know what to expect from Maruti, man. It's going to be the map of Haven. Yeah. The map with 3 sites, and well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be really hard for Maruti Peak to activate themselves on the map of Haven, because Khumbu Esports, I'm pretty sure they're going to have something lined up for them just to welcome them with open arms. But yeah, over here, the scoreboard's in front of us, and clearly, as you can see, again, in the headshot percentage, it's just Maruti Peak leading the charts, but then after that, in every single stat number, it's just Khumbu Esports taking their trophy.
It's quite unfortunate, I think, because I really do feel like this map could have gone the way of Maruti Peak. They were on a great roll of form after those pistol and anti-eco, but after that, as soon as they lost the operator, it just felt like they kept fumbling. It didn't feel like they had defaults to adapt to without the anchor operator, and they kept getting caught out by Khumbu Esports, who, on the other hand, played effectively the same default throughout this map. But big props to Moonlight. The initiator main for the side of Khumbu Esports was phenomenal on Bind on the Sky, and as the hunter surely made sure to shut down Maruti Peak on Ascent. Just like that, a 2-0 lead. Necro, it does look like Khumbu Esports are making that statement we wanted them to make.
Oh man, they indeed are making that statement, man. They're looking really good. They're feeling themselves. We saw them also just popping out a couple of smiles here and there, even though while they were trying to just play the game. They were holding some angles, and while holding some angles, they also had a couple of smiles on their faces. So this is one of those things I like to see. I just want to see a little bit more toxicity, man. I mean, I don't want to sound bad when I say this, but I want to see a couple of more teabags. I want to see some knife kills. I want to see some BM. That's what I'm here for. I want to see some content. But yeah, moving on forward, the viewer rewards for you guys, the exclusive merchandise, and all you guys need to do is to apply for this giveaway is go ahead on your social media accounts, make a post saying hashtag VCC, be a little creative with your posts as well, and and also tag at NODWIN Gaming in that post, because that's the most important step. If you're not going to be tagging the official account, you're not going to be eligible for the giveaway. So make sure you're tagging at NODWIN Gaming, and you guys will be eligible for the giveaway for those nice merchandises. Oh, but with that being said, I also heard a little call out. I actually wanted to let CA talk for a while, but it's fine. I got a little call out from the production saying that it's time to push on a break. So CA, I'm gonna cut off your talk time. Okay, that's it. You're not gonna be talking anymore. But yeah, jokes aside, it's time for us to throw you a short break. We'll be right back.
Turn all of the fire, it's a one-man single, give a sign. Put your gun, finger. Put your gun, finger. Put your gun, finger. One single, give a sign. And put your gun, finger, trigger.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2 tests already done for Khumbu Esports, and now the final step to get themselves a slot in the Grand Finals playoff. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the NODWIN's Valorant Conquerors Championship with grooming partner as Gillette, and these are the Nepal Bhutan Qualifiers. And now today we're over here to find out who's going to be booking their slot. And currently, it seems like Maruti Peak are just nowhere in the line over here. It seems like it's a complete sprint. It's supposed to be a best-of-5 marathon, but now it just looks like it's a sprint.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all about Khumbu Esports making that statement we talked about from the very start, demolishing their opponents like we talked about from the very start. And it's an expectation we had from multiple regions, right? Pakistan, we expected the same from Exploit. They most certainly delivered. Exili, I'm not so sure about that, though they did end up wrapping in that moment. And then from Sri Lanka, we expected it from Kloy, but instead NODWIN Gaming delivered. And I think now coming into Nepal, we wanted Khumbu to establish the fact that, hey, from VCC 1, we established we're the best team in Nepal. Now it's no longer about proving that. It's about proving that we've gotten so much better that we can take down Nepal in a jiffy and focus on the grand final playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not even sweating over here, man. They're not even breaking a sweat. Pretty much just stomp coming through on both the maps. And now moving on in the map choice of Khumbu Esports. This is Haven is their map choice, so it's going to be an interesting thing to see.
They've made a substitution, so I love this. They have a 6-man roster and they're actually using it perfectly. Cluster coming in for Slumber will mean he picks up that breach. I assume Moonlight is going to stick to his Sova, with Tin most likely going onto a chamber, so we can see him offing. Like, surely that's the composition here.
Oh yeah, this has to be a composition here without a doubt. Acidic and Thin are pretty much there. Then Moonlight pretty much locking in that Soa. Things are looking pretty good. Yeah, I do want to see...
chamber Thin.
Oh, Acidic going for the Jet. Hugo pretty much going for the Astra. Sticking to his own course. But Thin not really going for a chamber indeed. He's instead going for a Killjoy. So on the other hand, you can clearly do see, I mean, on the other side, they just don't want to mess around with anything, man. They just want to put their A game on. They're not going to go with chamber. Instead, they're going to go with a little bit of more tactical approach in the game, CA.
Yeah, he killed my joy, man. I'm not happy. I wanted to see chamber.
I mean,
maybe
his name is Killjoy.
As well. Yeah, exactly. But hey, fair enough. As you said, they don't want to mess around. They don't want to take any risks, and giving the respect to Maruti Peak, which is deserved. Let me just clarify that. They've made themselves known, getting to that final. It's not like even if Maruti Peak loses map, they're out of this tournament altogether. The wildcard qualifier is coming right after a one-day break after today. So Maruti Peak, most definitely a team you can't afford to take lightly. But talking about just that, the Breach Sova composition, something I personally love on Haven, because it allows you to be a lot more proactive. It allows you to play mind games with your opponents with respect to, for example, you can just use one fault line to get your Jet in an aggressive position in A long and then play on the rotations, because she can become that lurking factor. I think that's exactly what they're going to try to do right here. Setting up Asite for success. He finds Konda, forces him away, and as soon as they realize that Konda is playing A, I think they know that it's only going to be a 2-man setup ever. They're rarely ever going to play a Jet in a 3-stack, so trying to punish him immediately by pushing it to that side.
Yeah, exactly, and you can clearly do see the attacking side, which is Khumbu Esports. Their Jet's down quite low, so...
They have Sky, though.
Yeah, they do, but still, they just do not really want to go for a lot of risk at this point, because she's going to be dashing in the site with pretty much half HP in the hand, so...
Oh wait, no.
That's going to be...
The attacking side don't have a Sky.
Yeah,
it's clustered at the breach, but... Hey. Whoa, what
oh my god, what was that? Thin, that's a rookie mistake. You're supposed to check that angle. Pretty much leaves it unchecked, and there you go. A little nuke being found, a little cranny being found. And that's how Maruti Peak are just able to peek him and instantly shut him down. Another teabag coming through. Salt. That's what I love. Just give me some more salt. I'm a salty man.
Gone.
And at this point, key errors made by Tin right there. Just gotta check that double box spot, man. You gotta check right there. It's one of the more common positions where the solo anchor might lie when he's scared about a push coming in from garage and seaside as well, because he can play that angle stuck to the garage door while still handling seaside. So you wanna make sure they're not there, especially when you're lurking, Tin. Hey.
And I personally,
I like this camera.
And I personally love Maruti Peak's logo as well. How there's like 3 agents just peeking out the land. It's beautiful. It pretty much like defines their name as well.
Yeah, they
Now it's
kicked him out of Maruti.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Maruti Peak, baby. Let's go. The turret's out in the mid. They're using the turret as cover as well. They're just kind of like trying to headshot angle that, but still. It's a 3-on-5 situation now, and it seems like Maruti Peak, they're just looking really dominant because clearly Khumbu Esports, they've been pushed on an eco, so it's going to be really hard to find any frags, but oh no. Talk about that, going to be really hard. It's not going to be too hard for Acidic for sure. He's able to let some frags through. And now there you go, spike being planted on the side, but a little too late. Will be shut down, but that's all they needed, the spike plant.
Yeah, decent money from the plant as well as 1 kill for Acidic. But not much damage done to Khumbu, so I would say, sorry, not much damage done to Maruti. So I would say overall a win-win for both of these teams, as I really hope that Maruti Peak now play on the full bonus instead of playing for that 1-buy pseudo bonus style, because it does affect that momentum to a huge degree and also limits your playstyle. If you go for a full bonus, you can just play full aggression, and yes, even though it's just a shorty and light shield on silent, I love the fact that they're playing a full bonus.
Oh, I love it too, man. 2 rounds on the board, but now this thingy, this round over here, it's going to matter quite a lot. This thingy is going to matter quite a lot, CA. Okay, you need to understand. This round's going to be important for them. They are playing for full bonus, and the chances of them winning actually this round are going to be pretty slim. So Maruti Peak, they're also taking a lot of risk with this bonus. I do understand they are going for a fair bit of odds over here. If they do win this bonus round, that's going to be quite a lot of economy that they are going to be having to work with in the future rounds, but they're also trying to just gamble off of a round over here. If they do lose this out, that means 1 round will be slipped off to the attacking side. Aggression coming out of garage, and well, Cluster peeks out a kill. It's Silent who's taken down on the site, so that's a big man Cypher taken care of.
Yeah, huge frag, because now they can just hard push this A site. Now with this information of Khumbu pushing in, down C long, I think they're going to try to punish him instead, because usually when you see a push down C long, you're expecting that player to be solo. There's no reason for a double push to happen, especially since they haven't seen it before, but instead committing to the side they have info on, going for this A push, catching Kondo off, reloading. Why was he reloading?
30 seconds left.
Oh my god, he's so low though. Yeah, imagine reloading while you're trying to execute a site. While you're trying to walk inside a site and create some space for your teammates. That's quite interesting. Maybe a new strat, you know? Throw your enemies off guard. Moving it forward though, Acidic. Right above him, man. Look at that. Jar is just throwing off some moves here and there. Recon Tower will spot him out. Where's the spam? There you go. The spam comes through. Jare shut down. And now a little bit of solo peaks coming out. Not really working together. And a nice round to follow it through. And as I mentioned, they did try to play off of with a little bit of a bonus round, but still, it just didn't work out, CA.
Yeah, and these guiding lights are a little too deep to come forward. They don't actually blind Acidic at all. You see, it goes behind him. So he just gets like blinded for a millisecond, maybe. That's all. Like a part of his vision, not really fully blinded the way you want outside that smoke. And an easy crossfire setup from the side of Khumbu picks them up the round. But hey, they did play on that full bonus that we wanted, so that round won't be as impactful for them. And ooh, a nice spot for Konda now that he's got his operator. We'll see if he's able to actually do a lot of damage. Now, I do think Khumbu are expecting the operator, because you can see they've switched up their defaults to play with the alarm bot towards the A side instead of normal C that we saw so far, and they're rushing down C as soon as they make sure the operator isn't there. The Sova and Astra down is reducing the retake potential to a large degree, because without that utility, where are you gonna go?
This is huge. There you go. The first one being found. Second one as well flows through right next to him.
Man,
he's
that's
like,
such a panic moment for Konda.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, wait, you're already here?
No, he's
Huh?
like, he's like scoped in. He's looking at everyone like in like 5 range, and he looks a little bit on the left. And he's like, who the hell is this?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the best jet of them all? And Acidic just breaks through the mirror, be like, hello, what's up?
Interesting one indeed, man. 2-2 is the scoreline, and now at least it's tied up. So, again, talk about the bonus, man. See, it seems like it's not really working out. The bonus got shattered, and so their dreams now. It looks like they're also gonna get shattered too. A nice blast cannon followed up. Another blind coming through from the breach, but that's not going to be able to do anything. Just the spams from the mid, though. They're trying their best to find some connections. Shock Dart to follow it up. Recon drone's going to be out as well. What just happened? How did those two players just get taken out like that? The rest of the team did not even try to follow him. But this is huge right here. He's going to be finding a lot of frags, CA. If he keeps the anonymous nature going through, he's going to be able to follow it up with a lot of frags. 3 players right here. There you go. The first one being found is the man Thin, who closes him out. And now Thin looking to make some thick plays with, and also trying to get a little bit more frags on the board. Moonlight's position pretty much is known. Spike plant for the defender spawn, and I absolutely love this spike plant. There'll be a push coming through. Nice trade, and now it's a 1-on-2 situation. Moonlight's position is given away. He gave a lot of footsteps away, and what was that, Conda? Didn't. But again, there we go.
Been enough, but Conda
Yeah,
getting
that's
caught with a knife in his hand.
hands were busy.
Again, a big error from Conda, because you could see the plant was that defender side spawn plant, so there was no way for Moonlight to actually deny the defuse as long as Conda covered his back.
I don't know. Conda should realize if the spike plants the defuse, if the spike plants the defender spawn one, and if the man is not actually in defender spawn, then he has to be either in garage or long.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, Conda being a little rookie in that scenario and just gives his frag away like that. Got really close, but yeah. Another chance being slipped by, and Khumbu Esports pretty much just capitalizing on it. Technical break, CA, using this.
I think they also got really confused because they probably heard the footsteps coming in from C Long, but they're like, oh, the Sova scan didn't reveal anyone. So, wait, what? Where is this guy? And you can see Conda maybe running. I think his idea was he's probably in garage. So let me try and push through. Needs the surround sound headphones, you know, which tells you like the footsteps are coming exactly from that direction. I've used them a couple of times. They really do make a difference.
I mean, I personally don't like to play on surround sound though.
Why?
No, stereo is way better.
I mean, yes, but I'm talking about the headphones which like, there are certain headphones which are just two-dimensional. They just tell you left or right. And then there's certain headphones which tell you if they're coming ahead, back, front, or left. I don't know if they're surround sound.
No, that's not called surround sound. Is like usually surround sounds are used to watch a movie or yeah, something like that, just to give you a little bit of better feeling. And surround sound isn't really meant for gaming. What you're talking about is pretty much like any expensive headphones. Just buy an expensive headphones and you know they have to be a good one.
Basically.
Yeah, just basically, yeah.
That's what I mean though. Like, again, it doesn't matter though, honestly, which headphones he has, because even in that position, even if they are confused about where he's coming from, long or garage, all he really needs to do is hold that side angle. He just needs to cover his back from the side, so the Sova can go for the full defuse. And even if he gets taken out, the Sova can have defuse and play for the trade. That way, there's not much pressure. Instead, he gives Moonlight an opportunity to isolate the duels, and well, we saw it from Moonlight in the last 2 maps, man. He was phenomenal on the Sky, he was the MVP on the Sova, and it looks like the Hunter has not missed a beat at all. Finds that clutch and picks up the lead for Khumbu Esports.
But it's time to beat down the Hunter himself with the technical break. Yay. Let's go. Technical break on the board, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to hype it up. And yeah, there you go. Finally, the technical break pretty much being taken away, and now we are seeing them being pretty much getting ready for this round. I do want to see how the setup's looking like over here. Pretty much the casual one from the side of Maruti Peak. Nothing really going on much from their side, but on the other hand, you can see the attackers. They're also pretty indecisive. They don't exactly know where to go.
Yeah, I think the setup is quite curious, because if you notice, for the first few rounds, they had the alarm bot quite deep towards the C long angle. Then they switched it over as soon as they went for the C side execute, and they're always having the turret towards the mid side. I think that's something that Maruti Peak really need to start exploiting. Because you see, they're using the drone as well as the Trailblazer quite early, and they're not actually getting any control off of it. They're just using it for information, which is quite useless, to be honest, because what are you going to do with the information this early into the round? They're going to be able to easily change up their defaults and rotate.
Oh, that's a good frag from Silent. That's a Cedar being cut off instantly. But again, with the trade of what? Your controller's gone now. You don't really have any smokes to play with. It's fine. The duelist on the attacker side's gone. It's okay. They have the controller available. They have the Sova there. They have the Killjoy as well to play on some post plants. So the attackers don't really need to work on anything. This is exactly what I'm saying. The controller being cut off, they just don't have any more smokes to try and deny the push coming through. Hunter's Fury is out as well from Jore, going for a little off plant for this time. And Khumbu Esports, they're going to be able to get this plant down successfully. It's a 3-on-3 situation. Cosmic Divide as well gets utilized. It's a nice one as well.
Yeah, it tells us that there's only one player on site, so they're going to push in. But Cluster's playing mind games with them. He moved into C long before coming back into site, so they get caught off guard by him. And now, Jore left in a 1v2. Some amazing plan to get
32.
Moonlight low, isolate Cluster, and going to move in for the classic burst. But Moonlight again with the clutch coming up huge for his team. And look at that face, man. Just no emotions shown. Truly the game face move.
Yeah, indeed, man. They just don't care about this win. They're like, all right, we win this. Our goals are for way bigger things, man. We're looking out in the front. We want the future to come true, and which is the grand final playoffs of the VCC. And they're looking really close. They're already half a step there, a little bit more, just to get this dominating lead over Maruti Peak in the first half, and that's going to be pretty much secured.
Now they have that Killjoy lockdown as well as a Rolling Thunder to go for an aggressive execute, and I think Maruti Peak are reading into this very well. They've got a 4-stack going on this side. The Killjoy lockdown and the Rolling Thunder all committed to try and get in, but Ponda was not stunned, I don't think so. Jump down and find another, and the read from Maruti Peak was absolutely brilliant.
It was a good read for sure. But yeah, two players being detained on the site. And Levi, I don't know why he's not going for that. Just go. Those could have been 2 free kills, and now another lifeline just given away to them. And Khumbu Esports, they're not even like, all right, they're not even trying to stay silent over here. Oh, that's such a questionable way to play this round. Khumbu Esports, a lot of questionable decisions coming through. Pretty much the lockdown not really used to perfection, and a thrifty round from Maruti Peak. That's going to give them a lot of advantage over here, CA.
Exactly. Round is going to help boost their eco to a large extent. Effectively guarantee that operator come online for Conda, since he went for the full save too with the Blade Storm. So now you can see the coach, I believe, from Khumbu Esports, Notorious, calling for the timeout, being like, guys, that was a key error. There were 2 players detained. The Rolling Thunder didn't really hit everyone. I'm not sure what happened in that round. You guys needed to be a lot more patient, in my opinion. The patience was not really there. They instead tried to heavy commit onto a site, and maybe we're not aware that it was an eco round from Maruti Peak. And in that situation, if you know it's an eco round, then you're not going to be that necessarily W. You're going to continuously realize that, hey, these guys could just easily go for a stack, or even if you don't realize they're going for a stack, they could just be playing on the fact that one guy is playing an anti-flash or an anti-stun angle while the other guy is playing the bait for him. That's exactly what happens. They give Conda the opening. He finds one, and the rest is history, because Clover manages to sneak in through a shot. And this is where the chaos of the comms in these more upcoming regions, in these slightly less experienced regions, really shows.
Man, I really love their hoodies, man. Look at that. It looks sick. Yo, nice Khumbu Esports, I mean, if you guys do win this, please make sure to send me one too. You know, I haven't really worn any merchandises in my life. If you guys do send me one, I would be really happy, man. You guys can send one over to CA too, if he really wants one.
Yeah, I do.
He does? Okay, so send him one too, send me one too. And I'll pretty much wear that hoodie and post a lot of pictures on my socials. A free shout out to you guys.
While Necro is selling himself, I'm going to try to sell Maruti. Position here, Asite going in aggressively will create that space, and again, I don't really like the aggressive nature with which Clover is playing. It's a B-side execute on an eco round from Khumbu Esports.
Yeah.
They can easily retake. Their cages as well as traps were set up to retake, but they give away a free peek. And now, with the nano swarms as well as the aftershock available,
Oh no.
Khumbu get to play purely post-plant.
Nice cosmic. There's a little sneaky angle left open though. And I honestly feel like the Cypher dude should try and hold off the sneaky angle. The Hunter Sphere is just denying them on the plant, but there you go. Thin's just sticking it. Man's pretty much just going for the stick, but there you go. Thin follows it up with 2 massive frags, and now Thin is able to get another one. And oh my god, Thin has to be the MVP who pretty much saved the day for his team. That Killjoy truly shown its potential.
Yeah, and again, I am actually not a fan of the Cosmic Divide because against the Breach, you don't want your Cosmic Divide to be very close to the walls because he's just like, okay, cool. I get to just flash the actual wall and peek from the Cosmic Divide. Even though like you can't flash through the Cosmic Divide itself, if you keep it close to the walls, it's effectively an extension of the wall and he's just gonna flash the B-main entry and then peek through it. And it also allowed him to run across Garage rather than walk across. But oh, I like a really nice gravity well with the spam takes down Moonlight. Gonda finds Thin as well, and hey, I'll tell you what, it's not about the mistakes, I always say, it's about how they respond, and Maruti Peak seems to have responded really well after that last round.
Yeah, indeed. That gives them a 2-round cushion as well. And Khumbu Esports are looking really good, but still not in this round. They're looking really shaky. They have the control available though, so they can try and isolate some angles and try and block off some vision of the enemy. I can try and play off of that for sure. Slowly, steadily walking in forward, trying to go for a stun on the long side as well. And now this is where they should just start flooding in. This is not the time to walk. Your position's already given away, Aside. You're just supposed to run on in. Your Astra's supposed to smoke the heaven and the CT angles. There you go. Finally, the smoke's coming through. Konda is pretty much being blinded now. And he's going to drop on the backside. Nice flash to follow it up. Aside's able to line one up, but there you go. They're just lining up these bodies. 3 massive frags, and Clover pretty much playing a really crucial role.
Wait, did they not take the operator?
Did they?
I'm not sure if Clover picked up the operator there. I'm actually curious, but
I just don't understand, CA. It's like they give the stun out, and then honestly feel like that in itself is a really questionable stun. Even if you do want to stun from that spot, that's a really questionable one. You're supposed to pretty much peek out with the flash and then instantly just start like dashing through on the site. Just pretty much to run on the site. Because with that stun, you've given the intentions away that you're actually trying to rotate on the A site. And then you saw the rotation as well be pretty quick on their part. But that's a nice shot.
That's worth it as well. A jet for the Breach, especially the operator being taken down. They get garage control as a nice bonus. And now
oh my god, boy.
Aggressively, but Silent and Clover, where are the comms? Why is quite confusing plays as now it's just back and forth between these teams. One round, one team is like, it's okay, I will make mistakes and give it to you. The other round is like, no, it's my turn now. And it's quite weird considering we saw them play so well in the first half. I feel like it's just pressure catching up as it's now turning into a street fight brawl. Where they're just like, okay, I will kill you with aim. And they're just going at it with each other. But hey, I'll tell you what, the aim is pretty good.
Yeah, the aim definitely is something that even Puga has been impressing me quite a lot. So I do want to see him impress me again in this one. 3 stars available, keep this in mind. Decent amount of utilities to try and rely off of. But a thrifty round. Nothing really much being done, and there we go. Khumbu Esports just like that, getting themselves on the board and proving Maruti Peak unparalleled, CA.
It's so weird because if Silent wants to push Garage, then why not ask Clover for a guiding light? Like a flash can come through, he gets some support, they get the info as well, and then he pushes through instead of just silently walking in. Like I get his name matches that style, but it's never going to work out when they've taken, even if they don't expect window control to be taken, just walking into Garage window when you know Garage control has been taken is a little weird. So the comms really need to be managed better from both of the teams. Silent. Now this aggression I can appreciate because it is the eco, but the drone making sure that he doesn't get a free peek. They shut them down, and even though Asite was taken low by Jaure, the backup is there from Cluster, and just like that, the floodgates have opened next to the site. Gain for free.
Yeah, the side in their hands, 5 HP only available on the man. It's a 5-on-2 situation. Another one being found, and now it's yeah, there we go. Things really looking blurry for Maruti Peak. And so is their run in this tournament looking pretty blurry as well. Nice shot from Conda, will shut down Thin. But oh no, they give another frag to follow it up. So Conda, the final man left alive with the Blaze Storm available in the pockets. Is he going to pull him out right now or maybe later? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and Khumbu Esports now establishing themselves with a significant lead. Granted, that was the economy for the side of Maruti Peak, so we'll have to see if they can now push back in this final round of this first half, because yes, in Haven we do expect the attackers to have a little bit of an advantage, especially when comms are this chaotic and the attackers are playing that breached over combo. So if they can make it a 7-5, I don't think the hope is dead just yet. Because Maruti Peak, most definitely a team capable of coming back in terms of the talent that we've seen individually. It's just that team factor, which is so far not able to show up on the map of Haven. Now, what I do really like is look at the aggression shots from Conda. He's taken Seal on control, and with the Trailblazer, oh, it couldn't jump into window. The Trailblazer, as well as again the drones committed to just getting mid information. This time I like it because it allows Conda to get into a very aggressive spot and hold down rotations while his team stacks up that A side. But they're going for a fake overall macro. This lockdown is quite interesting because you can see the way it's been placed. It also cuts off B side. So now with the Cosmic Divide, they're gonna go for that B side shutdown, and Conda's lurk. It's all in range.
Oh my god, that's a huge frag, and the Champions Vandal as well glowing now. So 4-7 is the score line, and with this round win, they will get 8 rounds in their hand. 5-on-4 situation, man advantage heavily in their hands, and Thin's lurk is going to be instrumental again. It's going to go for a crosshair discipline. No, instead he pretty much just takes him down. The trigger discipline not really there on the side of Thin. Instead, he just go for each and every single opportunity that he finds. And Jare tried to be a little tornado over there. Tried to make a little tornado. He was just spinning around. He was like trying to dodge the bullets. Yeah. Look at him. Look at him.
Like, no, don't hit me, bullets. I will be. What's his name? The Matrix dude. Damn it. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Neo.
No. I mean the actor's name. Keanu Reeves. I will be Keanu Reeves. I will dance around these bullets in full style. No, you're not Keanu Reeves. You're Sova. So
Oh
this
no.
is not gonna happen.
You're Savannah Reeves.
No.
Up I go.
I refuse. I reject.
Come on, that's a good name. Savannah Reeves.
No.
Covering the cooling.
But anyways,
Concealment. Blocking
here we
vision.
do have the gravity well in the back sight. Nice
Wait,
one.
what?
Levi pretty much interesting. That's a backside pretty much being cut off, but there's still a little flow pathway, and that's what they're using to inflict some damage or inflict some pain. And now Thin as well is able to get away with one, but oh no, it's just Maruti Peak doing a really good job in these pistol rounds to get these frags on the board. 2-on-3 situation, drones out as well, and the city is pretty much going to try to follow it up with the drone. Soa being spotted, trying to his best to get away from that spot. But that's not going to be a possible scenario. Oh no, Moonlight missing a lot of shots. This is not what you like to see. Finally able to shut him down, and now only 40 HP left in the hands. Has a recon dart available. Utilizes it instantly. Smokes out right in the face. Vision pretty much being blocked, and a nice shot from Moonlight, redeeming himself from that whiff.
Yeah. And you can see the stress on his face, realizing that he was the reason his teammate ended up dying in the first place.
Yeah.
So hey, it doesn't matter if you whiff in the middle of the round as long as you land them headshots to find the clutch. Third time in a row, it just feels like Seaside is the home of Moonlight. Keeps finding these clutches here, but the reason I was perplexed in the middle of the round was when Levi popped that site separation smoke between the default plant as backside. I thought that smoke was for a retake, but instead they committed to staying on despite their locations being known. So this is what I mean. I feel like neither team's really committing to one particular setup, which makes me feel like everyone's deciding their own individual setups, which, yes, it's working against Maruti Peak very, very well right now, but I'm not sure if it will, like, in more high-intense arena like the Grand Final playoffs. But right now, Maruti Peak, they went for the force by Necro, and I'm kind of scared about this. If they lose this round, it's all she knows. The map surely over right then and there.
Yeah, map is indeed over. Retreating the stars in their hand. 9 HP only left. And now it's a 4-5 situation.
And all on site.
Aside. Yeah, look at this. Aside as well is right there. So it's an interesting one. The guys on the site getting tagged up a little bit. Aside with the Marshall has a lot of burden on his shoulders to try and shut someone down over here. But still, gotta give props to how well Maruti Peak are able to hold on to the site. Nice flow through, but the Bucky will pretty much shut down the final man. And there you go. Bucky with the arm.
And it's just so clustered when you play everyone on site on the C post plant. You can see how difficult it is for them to coordinate the peaks at the same time. A large part of it, though, of course, because of Tin's spray there through Garage, picking out one player. But right here, this is what I mean. Like, either if you're all going to play on site, then I feel like you play on crossfires around defender site spawn. You don't let them enter site in the first place. Rather than playing defensive angles on the post plans, you play aggressive angles if you want to play site post plans. But if you want to play defensive angles, then I feel like you should just go C long.
True. Pat. We are indeed seeing a lot of rookie mistakes, though, not gonna lie, so.
Nice lineup, though.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting one. But there we go.
What? No!
What was the... I honestly thought that's gonna be some like an insane lineup because it would look really impressive, and then that happens and it's just like, okay, buddy, are you serious? Another one. There you go. Final man taken down, and now it seems like Khumbu Esports, they're just having a huge dominating lead. 11 rounds on the board for them. One more round will bring them to a match point, and also really, really close to securing that spot in the grand final of the playoffs, CA.
And I just like to establish that in no way or form are we like, you know, throwing shade towards these players. It's just unfortunate because this is the grand finals. However, it's understandable. Because, of course,
it is.
Especially for the side of Maruti Peak, they're not necessarily, you know, players that we've seen continuously be dominant, or it's not like the Nepal region has been one of the top regions. It is an upcoming region, and they're trying their best. But the pressure factor, you can see, is a big, big deal. It's not just about the aim or the discipline even. It's about how you cope up with your mental in these high-pressure scenarios, and they just don't seem to have the experience to be able to do that, and they're crumbling under that pressure.
Yeah, no, you beautifully mentioned it's like in no way or form we're trying to insult these players or anything. It really does come down to the experience, and it seems like over here Khumbu Esports just has a little bit more of that, and you can see Maruti Peak, there's just like crumbling down under a lot of pressure, and that's why these kind of frags are given away. Maruti Peak now only one less man left alive, and there we go. The final man as well being taken down. Match point of the series of the best of 5 in the grand finals to secure their spot in the grand final playoffs of the VCCCA.
It also does seem like Khumbu Esports has leveled up with the name change. NODWIN Gaming coming in. They're the first organization that has a 6-man roster and has used it properly, in the sense that they're changing the player between the maps. I love that. I think I'm a big fan of that because it throws in a spanner into any team preparing against you. You're just confused, like, wait, is Cluster going to play this map? Is Slumber going to play? And if either of them plays, who's going to play what? It just makes it that much more harder, you know? And I think that's the biggest strength of a 6-man roster. With organizations that can take more VLT, we haven't really seen them use appropriately yet. So I'll appreciate Khumbu for that 100%. I love the fact that they're using Cluster here.
There are definitely some of those things that need to be taken from these teams, and they're, I mean, you know, each and every single team that has their own like unique abilities that they're really good at executing. And Khumbu as well, somewhere down the line, they do have theirs too. They have a lot of potential for sure, but we just want to see how they're going to be able to perform in the grand final playoffs. One more round needed to secure their win. And somewhere down the line, Maruti Peak now, they're going to be starting to sweat quite a lot. You can clearly see the paranoia sit in as well, because they're just being really indecisive with what to do. The Marshall in the close range, trying to find some skull connections, but a nice alarm bot that also kind of just distracting him from his goal. Rolling Thunder's available, but a nice shot from Konda. What's going on? He's single-handedly shutting them down one after the other.
And he has continuously been that consistent player for Khumbu Esports. Konda performing on every single map, may it be on the Jet or the Reyna. But unfortunately, it's quite impossible to single-handedly pull it back. So with this, they do get the round win.
Oh, nice shot.
This team to step up to that mark now. Asite does shut down the ball Cypher. He's getting hunt down though by all of Maruti Peak. I really just hope they don't live up to the name and peek one by one.
Oh my god. And they're just like trying to do the strafe peeks at the corner. Two players on the right side, missing on another shot. And it's like Asite is just, oh, that's a great shot. Sit down, Konda. You're trying to hunt him down. That's not going to be today. Not anymore, but oh my god, what's going on, Asite? What was that? What about Maruti Peak pretty much knows. Maruti Peak knows it's just done for them, so they're just trying to have fun now, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like Pugo be like, okay, I'm not Pugo, I'm Pogo now, so I'm gonna pretend I'm on a Pogo stick. Just Pogo stick jump around like bunny hop.
Yeah, just trying to. Oh, dude, this was a great shot. Look at them, missed a lot of shots.
He wasn't even
Luckily.
shooting at first. He started shooting like. Okay, I can appreciate fun. Fair enough. Kind of questionable, but still, fun is fun, I guess.
Yeah, fun is fun. But yeah, you gotta give props to Maruti Peak as well, man. First two maps are pretty close.
Enemy down.
Decently close, I would say. So props should be given, man. And in that in
Right here.
itself, they also 2-0'd their opponents in the semifinals. So again, that's another thing that should be given props on. So hearts in the chat for Maruti Peak for making out this long in the VCC. And I feel like they deserve each and every single piece of respect. But Khumbu Esports over here just proving them unparalleled. Khumbu Esports just has a little bit of more skill, a little bit of more, I would say, just everything. They're just better today. They're just looking good today.
Oh, that Blade Storm being expended as well. It looks like the time is up for the side of Maruti
Spike
Peak.
down mid.
Suzuki coming over to take over real quick as Khumbu Esports. They're looking for the win. Chauri does pull one back, make it a 2v2. But
Take flight.
with Konda stuck in a link, his teammates separated from him, it's gonna really come down to Konda to find some sort of insane frag right here.
One
Sitte's
enemy
moving in on Jaure.
Oh, that's a nice
Finishes
shot.
it off in
Defenders win.
spectacular style with Moonlight finding the 4K. And just like that, the victory attained for Khumbu Esports. They're on a
Yeah.
drive.
And pretty much a flawless win. 3 maps back-to-back won by them. And yeah, Khumbu Esports just having a lot much more experience, man. You can clearly do see, even though this matchup, they did not really crumble under pressure. They did not crack under a lot of pressure. Still able to keep that calm mindset in the games. But still, the fans of Maruti Peak do not be disappointed. They will have another chance in the wild card, which is pretty much 2 slots from the wild card will be chosen over in the grand finals. The top 2 teams in the
him
wild card
singing?
will be there.
I thought he was just saying, let's go, well played team and stuff like that, but then he started, kind of looked like he started singing.
Might as well, man. Just try and celebrate the victory, dude.
Get some dance going.
Yeah.
Feel yourself. You drop it like it's hot. Drop it.
Okay, CA. All right, CA. CA as well, it seems like he's quite happy for them, man. But yeah, overall, each and every single team that played in here, they deserve your respect, so please do not hate on anyone. Taking a look at the scoreboards, Jaure over here today in the final map looked really good with 15 kills and 13 deaths and 2 assists. On the other hand, Asite, as always, is just top fragging the boards.
Yeah, Asite playing really, really well, proving that he indeed was that perfect international addition that they were talking about in the VCC launch party that they needed for their team. 20-9, and this is what I mean. He's just so phenomenal on the operator especially, man. Able to hit such nutty shots on a relatively higher ping than we see for most GF players, so very well done.
Yeah, indeed, man. They're looking really good. But again, Maruti Peak, they're proving time and time again that they have a lot of skills. Look at the aim, man. Look at the headshot percentage. Each and every single map, the headshot percentage has been overruling Khumbu Esports' headshot percentage. So that's something to prove over here. That means all they need to work on is just a little bit of more team communications, proper executions, and try and not crumble under a lot of pressure. Because I do understand it's easier said than done. But still, I mean, you're on the biggest stage over here, man. You're in the grand finals, and now you're going to be moving on in the wild card, where things are going to get even more difficult. But talking about the MVP of this entire Best of 5 series, it's Asite from Khumbu Esports with 57 frags and 35 deaths and 7 assists. Yeah,
Asite picking up that MVP slot. He's gonna go over to the grand finals playoffs, something that he wasn't able to achieve in VCC 1. He was the one shut down by crash landing on you. So shifting regions, coming over to Nepal now, and Maldives represent, maybe not from the Maldives qualifier itself, but they've got a player now in the grand final playoffs. So I like the fact that in terms of that, at least there is some representation.
Oh man, indeed. Champions are definitely there from the side of Nepal and Bhutan side, but again, I do want to see what kind of performance they're able to put up in the grand finals, because talk about the pressure, it's just going to keep on elevating. It's going to be a little bit more high in the grand final playoffs, so there's going to be nothing like, okay, you know, maybe next map. No, each and every single map, each and every single round is going to count, so there's going to be a lot of pressure indeed, and even best of the best teams do tend to crumble down under a lot of pressure, CA.
Yeah, and that's why we really want to see that Maruti Peak, they don't take this they don't take this as a demotivating factor. They don't get disheartened by this, rather learn from it and go into the wildcard with nothing to lose, honestly. They will be the underdogs even in the wildcard qualifier, because there's some big names out there. The defending champions themselves are in the wildcard qualifiers, so it's not going to be easy. But what I want to see from Maruti Peak is that fun factor we saw with Fugo on the Pogo jump.
Yeah.
I just want to see them playing for a good time and taking the experience from the games rather than taking it in a serious manner.
Yeah, exactly. Same, dude. You put that perfectly, man. It's just like, try to have fun. If you're not going to have fun doing what you're doing, then why are you doing it? Just question yourself, dude. You know, if you're not going to have fun in doing that, then yeah, it's pretty questionable. But yeah, overall, Maruti Peak, you guys have a great logo. I'm a huge fan of your guys' name as well. Logo as well, pretty much check on point. Now I just want you guys' merchandise as well. That'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, I would like me some of that.
Yeah.
As well. I saw on the sleeve they've got some cool designs as well. So yeah, Khumbu maybe can get us some of those hoodies real quick. We are still gonna try to sneak some of the exclusive NODWIN merchandise. So if you haven't got yourself in the giveaway, you should.
Ooh, oh yeah,
every single day.
Exactly, every single day we're gonna be drawing out a winner and a new winner every single day. So it's not. So yeah, you guys are gonna be having a fair share chance to try and get your hands on the VCC exclusive merchandise. But I'm pretty sure we're also going to be having a nice interview lined up for you guys with one of the players soon in the future. But yeah, talking about the previous game, man, overall, they're going to be moving on forward. As I mentioned, in the grand final playoffs, there are some of the best teams out there. But moving on down a little bit in the wild card, there's going to be even better. There's going to be even like a rougher competition. As you mentioned, the defending champions themselves are in the wild card. They have been thrown down, and trust me, man, a man who's hurt is the most dangerous person.
Oh yeah, definitely, and
yeah,
that's why wildcard is going to be one hell of an affair altogether. It's not something I would miss personally. I mean, I'm not going to. I'm casting it, so you guys make sure that you don't miss it as well. But because at this moment, especially with 2 slots up for grabs, I feel like anything can happen in the wildcard.
Yeah, anything can happen, man. 2 slots are insane. I mean, it's like even if you do qualify from the semifinals to grand finals, it's like you've confirmed your slots in the grand final. Like you can pretty much play the grand finals for fun. You know, just play it for fun. Just to play to show your dominance in the grand finals, and just play it to have fun. Because those 2 slots are already going to be moving in forward. You have secured your slot in the grand finals, and then grand finals is where the real diamonds will be forged. But yeah, it seems like we also have a little interview lined up with one of the players from Khumbu Esports. So without wasting any time, let's just look into it.
Thank you.
How are you feeling,
dude?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, we won. It was a long fight to the finals, and yeah, we finally won and got qualified.
Yeah, congratulations. I have one question.
Yeah, thank you again.
For you, and that is the A side. He was the MVP. So where you found him? Because he is not from the same region that you are.
Ashite, you mean Ashite? I was like,
Yeah,
A side. Yeah, Ashite. Yeah, he's from Maldives. Yeah, so he contacted us and he said like he would like to play with us. And yeah, we tried out a few scrims and then we felt like, yeah, he's a good mix with us. And yeah, even his personality was pretty good, so we played with him.
Yeah, that was a very good pick if it's going to turn around like that, because that was a very valuable game from a side there. But Slumber, I want to ask you one more thing. Like, how do you play when you are in these matches? Because what we saw, if you did a mistake in one round, by the time you come in the next round, even if you are not on a full buy, you guys are able to somehow fix that mistake and make the opponent forced to make those mistakes.
It's like we reset our mentality like after every round, like even if it's win or lose. So like even if someone does a mistake and we'll be like, yeah, forget about it. It's already done. Focus on this round, and then we'll recover it. And yeah, we keep our composure and we trust our teammates. We trust each other, and that's how we play.
That's a pretty good thing, and in fact, confidence
Exactly.
is important. But before going to before ending this interview, I just want to ask the final question, and that is, what is going to
Yeah.
be your biggest right now? You just qualified for the playoffs, so which team you're eyeing for? Which is going to be your biggest competition?
Yeah, like there are a lot of underdogs, like teams that we did not expect to see, like from every region. Like we all had one favorites, and like someone else turned out up winning, and yeah. So I don't like have any picked out team. Like we're going after them, but we'll see it after the bracket releases, and yeah, we'll go like get all of them. We'll try to get all of them, whoever comes up.
That's cool, and
Yeah,
thanks
we'll
a
try
lot.
it.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah, thanks
because
again.
Congratulations, my man, Slumber. Thanks for the game
Congratulations.
and
Yeah, thank you
enjoy the
for-
victory celebrations, man.
Yeah, best of luck for the
Yeah,
playoffs.
yes, sir.
Goodbye.
All right, thank you guys. Bye bye.
Man, I don't know if they should start celebrating just now because A-Side, I mean, Asire, okay, I just kind of messed it up. But yeah, Asire, man, he's going to, he's going to have a lot to work on even in the future. I do understand he performed pretty well, but being the Jet, you sometimes have to carry pretty much your team in certain rounds.
Asite just gotta play on the A side a lot more, man.
But moving on forward, let's find out who's the giveaway winner of this exclusive VCC merchandise, and it's Ajay Chaudhary. Oh, congratulations, Ajay Chaudhary. You have won the exclusive merchandise of the VCC. It'll be pretty much be delivered to your doorstep soon, and pretty much have fun, man. You're going to be having a lot of fun with that merchandise. Make sure to post some pictures on your social medias, and talking about social, also tag us, man, because we just want to see and get jealous because we don't have it ourselves, so we might as well just see you wear it and we'd be happy. Talking about social is right here, dude. Not that hard. It's right here. And CS is right there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And maybe even we get to see some of the talent coming in from the individuals. But I will say, again, no shade to be thrown towards INT Desk. It was just a funny moment that we picked up on, And I like seeing what Slumber said, which is that despite the mistakes, they reset the mentality every single round. I think that was the key difference between Khumbu Esports and Maruti Peak. Whereas Khumbu Esports knew they had to do that because of their stint as NODWIN Gaming back in VCC 1, where they were the winners. They had that experience. They had the exposure, and hopefully Maruti Peak can go on a similar learning curve, learn themselves, and therefore next time be even that much better.
Yeah, just to get it clear again, there's no hit on Hindu Desk. Again, they're my friends. Yeah, it's just a funny moments. We pretty much like after the show, we're probably going to sit together and discuss about the games, how things really went down. So we're pretty much a group of friends casting over here. No hate on anyone, no hate on the teams as well.
You know how that A site worked?
Yeah, you know how the A site worked, dude? Yeah, you're talking about A site? That was a nice interview, dude. I like the A site in the interview. But yeah,
it was a nice
on
interview, though.
It was a good interview. I like the questions that they asked, honestly. And yeah, pretty much hopefully they keep on asking in the future time as well. But moving on forward, it's time for us to end the show. Look at CA's smile already is back on the face. Had a little bit of a rough day today, man, CA, but it's fine, Things will get better, boss man. But yeah, moving on forward, it's time for us to end the show. So it's me, Necro, and CA signing off.
But I don't want you back. So it's easy to see when I'm high all the time. 'Cause I have lost you, get the thinking why. We used to be so high on life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I just keep on beating high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on beating high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high.
with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all. Bring this the army that bands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind of cancerous. How we bleed vapors, green got us bleeding in streets for cheap paper. Assemble the masses, melt the plastic, compound, realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the system's unmasked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. To lie with the power of Charles Jurassic. Nation T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes, take back the atlas.
Bring the madness.
Bring the madness. There's a pyramid of power with eyes that can see it all. Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I really give it to y'all.
Bring this the army that bands against bands of dead presidents, determining life of mankind of cancerous. How we breathe vapors, we got us bleeding in streets for cheap paper.
Assemble the masses, melt the plastic, compound, realign when the shit gets drastic. Lift the veil when the system's unmasked. It's just another pyramid scheme, a government racket. To lie with the power of Charles Jurassic. Nation T-Rex with covert tactics. Rise from the ashes, take back the atlas.
Bring the madness. Bring the madness. Bring the madness.
Bring the madness. Bring the madness.
Yes, so the people right now. Pegboard nerds matter have you locking at the sound. All of the gal I go passing when me boy I go drop them a coming. Murderers. Me are the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some might sting. You better turn it, I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around, we all go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man single, give a sign. And put your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man single, give a sign. And put your gun finger trigger.
You're the superstar above me when the sun goes down. The one and only who could light this town. And when you're feeling like you're burning out, I will remind you that you're a superstar and you don't need a golden crown. 'Cause everybody needs a hero now. And when the weight is like £1,000,000, I'll stand behind you. 'Cause you're a superstar, superstar. 'Cause you're a superstar, superstar. 'Cause you're a superstar. You're the superstar and you don't need a golden crown. 'Cause everybody needs a hero now. And when the weight is like £1,000,000, I'll stand behind you. 'Cause you're a superstar, superstar. 'Cause you're a superstar, superstar. You're a superstar. Superstar.